Do let me know that you can hear me and see me because my OBS that I stream from is playing up a little bit. So I just want to make sure that I am coming through loud and clear. But good morning. It's good to be back. You might not have even realized I was gone, but I couldn't do a deadline stream in Game Week 15. I was absolutely devastated. You guys know how much I love my streaming, but we're back for 16. Unfortunately, this is obviously the final deadline before the World Cup, which is Boxing Day game. See, look, why are you doing this to me? My OBS is really playing up this morning. Does that work? Hopefully you can see that. Malfunctioning. I've one bloody weekend off, and all of a sudden my OBS doesn't work. Morning. I know this mirrors a similar conundrum for you and depends on Man City leaks, but Jesus/Darwin or Martial. That doesn't mirror... Basically, in my opinion on this, and I'll probably repeat myself a little bit throughout the day, and I do apologise for the repetition. I absolutely think Darwin is the best one-week punt, and I think Darwin is arguably one of the best options in FPL this week. If I could afford Darwin, it wouldn't even be a discussion. I would have done Alvarez to Darwin already, but I can't. And I think when it comes down to Jesus versus Martial, I think that's a little bit of a trickier decision. But I do still maintain that I think Jesus is a slightly better pick. He's going to get more minutes you would expect. And also his data is just really strong. That being said, it is a good fixture for Martial. And obviously Martial, when he plays, tends to score. Or at least he does quite well. So at the moment, I'm probably saying Darwin, Jesus, Martial in that order. But let us know in the chat what you're currently thinking with those three strikers. Because I know a lot of people are considering them. Hi, Ross. I hope you have an amazing day today. Thank you very much, Soldier Boy. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. What was I doing? Oh, I remember. I was showing you my team, right? So I've got 2.7 million in the bank, and this is the current setup. At the moment, even if we get early team news, I may well keep Alvarez. I just think he could do something off the bench. And I think I've looked at 4 Man City predictions today on Twitter. All 4 of them have Alvarez starting. 3 of them have Alvarez starting and Haaland benched. And then the 4th one had Alvarez and Haaland playing alongside each other. So at the moment, I'm probably thinking Doherty to Trent. Now, I know Trent hasn't been fantastic this season, but I guess my thought process behind this is it's 1 week and Trent still has that capability to absolutely go massive. Like we've seen it. I know this was a one-off, but he has that in his locker to get a clean sheet, especially when it's a home fixture, and to get some attacking returns. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. I mean, outside of that, yeah, he's been atrocious, and Liverpool haven't been great either. I don't know. I just felt like that's a decent 1 week punt against Southampton at home. The only issue is there going to be a new manager bounce? And then the other option I've got, if I don't do that and I keep Doherty, is obviously taking Alvarez out and then just doing like a 1 week punt on a striker. So I only have 8.7. So this is my issue. I can't afford Darwin because if I could afford Darwin, for me, that's a very obvious one. So at the moment, if I do that, I'm probably looking at Jesus. So I think I've narrowed it down to maybe Martial. I've probably narrowed it down to 3. It will be Trent, Jesus, or Martial. I'm probably leaning at the moment Trent, Jesus, Martial in that order. But let me know in the chat what you think. If I do bring in Trent for Doherty, it would be Castagna that gets benched. Right? So Castagna would go to first sub probably. And I would bring Doherty in and then it would obviously be Trent instead. So, yeah. And as you can see, the armband is currently on Salah. I will explain my reasoning for that. Just let me get through to these super chats, then I'll explain why I'm currently thinking of captaining Salah at the moment. Because there is, I think, decent reason for that. Yeah, Frosty's just said that Emma jumped the wave as Alvarez is 12% starting. Yeah, so the general predictors all have Alvarez bench. The only issue I have with these predictions from Emma, and again, I'm very grateful that she does them, is that everyone that she gets tends to be FPL managers. And I think FPL managers are desperate for Haaland to start. So almost every week, every one of those predictors is going to be predicting Haaland to start. Whereas the predictions that I've looked at on Twitter are just general Man City fans. So, yeah, I don't know. My prediction was that Alvarez would be benched and Haaland would start. But there are quite a few predicting alternative things on Twitter. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Martial's conversion rate is scary this season. 4 shots on target, 4 goals in all competitions. It's not a lot of shots, but he hasn't played a lot of minutes, has he? So yeah, listen, when Martial plays, I'm a Manchester United fan. I absolutely adore him. I've got a Martial shirt in my wardrobe. I absolutely adore Martial. I just wonder, is he going to start? And if he does, he's probably only getting 60 minutes. And Fulham can be decent at home defensively. I don't know. I can't really predict this game. I don't know if it's going to be like a 3-3 thriller or if it's going to be more like a sort of 1-1, 1-0 kind of game. I really can't predict the Manchester United Fulham game. W Stream fitting, I like it, says, hey bro, would you do Gahey to Perisic or Mitrovic to Firmino/Jesus? I can't afford Darwin. I think Jesus. I think Jesus is the one there. I don't mind keeping Firmino. Like, I've got Firmino. I'm not expecting much from him. I would probably say like Jesus, Perisic, Firmino in that order if I had to rank them. But I like all 3 of them. All 3 of them have in the past shown the ability again to get that big monster score. And I'll sound fairly repetitive with it, but that's what we're looking for. In a 1-week punt when we're going to be able to change our teams during the World Cup, we're looking for that player that has that explosive ability. And I think Perisic, Firmino and Jesus all have that. So I would probably lean Jesus, but I don't mind any of them. Firmino over Darwin with no wild card for Bobby. With no World Cup for Bobby. It's really annoying that WC is World Cup and wild card. I never know which way to read it. Would you pick Firmino over Darwin with no World Cup for Bobby? No, I still think Darwin's the one. But yeah, I guess Firmino's more likely to play 90 minutes because they don't have to save him for the World Cup. So maybe that is an advantage for Firmino. Listen, I'm happy owning Firmino. I'm happy that I've got Firmino in my team. I wouldn't necessarily tell you to go out and buy Firmino, though. If we look at his last few weeks. So I brought him in game week 12. So I've only had him for 4 weeks. But, I mean, it's 5 2-pointers in a row. He's not really shown too much. He has had chances, and he definitely could have scored. But I've not seen a great deal from him, whereas Darwin just looks like a monster. So I would always favour Darwin over Firmino, personally. That's my opinion on it, anyway. Mr. Chisel Planet has just gifted a Rap Tier 1 membership. I don't know who got that. Can I see? It should show it fairly obvious to me, but it doesn't. I don't know. Someone just got gifted a Rap Tier 1 membership by Chisel Planet. Oh, there you go. It was Joshua. So, Joshua, there you go. Make sure to thank Chisel Planet. You are now a Rap Tier 1 member for the next month, and it's up to you if you want to renew or not. Yep, classic Chisel Planet absolutely pulling through. Top of the morning to you, Raptor. Top of the morning to you as well. We are happy to be here. Who to bench, please? Dyer, Trippier, or White? I would bench Dyer out of those options. Ward or Pope? If you've got Trippier, I would go Ward. The reason I say if you don't have Trippier is Newcastle defence is massively owned, so you might just want to be safe and cover it. But I'm not expecting a clean sheet for Newcastle personally. Does anyone in here have a better rank than FPL Raptor? Does anyone have a better rank? Please tell me. Is anyone ranked higher than, I don't know, 908th in the world? My current plan is Andreas to Grealish if we get early team news that he starts. Brentford look done at the moment. I think the only issue is Frosty. I don't think we're going to get team news on... This is what I was saying, like team news and ticks, when he does his leaks, he just gives us like 1 or 2 players. I'm hoping he gives us Haaland and Alvarez, selfishly, but I don't think he will. Firmino and Wilson or Solanke and Darwin, keep up the great content. I prefer Solanke and Darwin there, just because Wilson's a slight doubt, and I think Darwin's much better than Firmino. So I would go Solanke and Darwin. Can you sort this bench? Gahey, Andreas, Webster. Oh, that's a really tough one, isn't it? See, I'm currently debating whether I want Andreas first sub. So I actually genuinely don't know. Sorry. I hate not being able to answer your questions. Gahey, Andreas, Webster. It's a home fixture for Brighton. But Villa have looked fairly decent under Emery. I don't know. I genuinely can't help. That is just literally flip a coin for that. I think all 3 of them are probably... All 3 of them you're looking at probably between 2 and 7 points. I don't think any of them are going to go massive. I'm really sorry, I can't even give you any advice. I'm struggling with my bench as well, Gahey and Andreas. But obviously Doherty's unlikely to start, so that's why he's third sub. You missed my super chat. Yeah, I don't do very well with super chats. I do apologise. I try my best, but I miss a fair amount. The chat moves far too quickly for me. I think I got most of them. Hi, Raptor from Melbourne. Hello from Melbourne. I don't know what time it is in Melbourne, but good afternoon, I guess, maybe. Good evening. Thoughts, please, on going Kulusevski for Foden if Foden is benched again, or go to Salah and budget striker under 6 million? Assuming that the latter is for a hit, I would just go Foden to Kulusevski. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I think Kulusevski will start. I don't think Foden will be benched again, though. I fancy Foden to start. So I don't think you'll have that issue. I think you'll be fine with Foden. Cool. It looks like there are a couple of people with a better rank. I've just seen 668th in the world. Yeah, 786th. There are a few. There are a few decent ranks in here, for sure. Yeah, I did that one, Frosty. I've done that super chat, I think. Wilson to Martial / Jesus for a hit. A lot of people are actually predicting a Wilson start now. So for an update, Wilson has trained away from the squad for the entire week. But I've seen a lot of people saying that the reason for that wasn't necessarily because Wilson was particularly ill. It was more so to protect the rest of the squad that may be going to the World Cup, and they don't want to like infect the entire squad before they go out for the World Cup. So by all accounts, there seems like there's a decent chance that Wilson plays. The only thing that would make me think he wouldn't is, again, he hasn't trained with the squad for the week, which means he hasn't obviously been in full training, which does impact fitness. And also he's been picked for the World Cup. So you might just have a word with Howe if he's still feeling slightly under the weather and just say something along the lines of, can I have a little bit of a break before the World Cup? So let's see. Cancelo captain for me, big points I'm thinking. Good luck, Ian. I don't fancy it this week. I think there's a chance Brentford score, but good luck with it. And I guess there's a small chance that he's benched after his shenanigans in game week 15. But no, I think he's fine. I think he's a decent option. But I just think if Haaland starts, he's obviously the best option. If Salah's playing, which he should be, he's a great option. De Bruyne is good as well. I think there are maybe better options this week, but I like the risk, and I like you trusting your gut feeling. How does DCL, Mitrovic, Foden to Martial, Darwin, Rashford for a -4 look like? Yeah, that sounds really nice, doesn't it, to be honest? The only issue is if Foden starts, then I don't like that, obviously, but then I don't know if you can afford Darwin and Martial. So it might be a package deal. I think that's fine for -4, assuming Foden doesn't start. If Foden starts, I think he's one of the best options this week, as he always is. Whenever Foden starts, he's a fantastic option. Martial, Zaha, Martinelli, Solanke, bench 1. Solanke I would bench, but I don't like benching any of those. I think they're all... I would try and find a way to start all, but if you have to, I'd bench Solanke. Yeah, why are you on Salah? Remind me in 2 seconds. I'll explain that because I think I've got some decent reasoning for it. Last weekend of FPL Mayhem till Boxing Day. I know. What is that? It's like 7 or 8 weeks, isn't it? It's ridiculous. Jesus / Martial or Darwin / Solanke. Hello from New Zealand. I would go Jesus and... Oh, Jesus, Martial or Darwin, Solanke. I'd go Darwin Solanke. I just think Darwin's the best option this week. So I think anyone that fits in there is probably the best one. For everyone saying I've missed their super chats, I can't have missed that many. But if I have, again, without... Oh, my bloody voice keeps... Without making myself sound like I'm just want all of your money. If you do like €1 or €2 or $1 or $2, it doesn't highlight the super chat for me. So it gets lost with the chat. I can't remember what the minimum is. I think it's something like $4.99, which I'm not expecting you to do. It will highlight the message from at the top, and it's impossible for me to miss it. But when it's like €1 or €2, or £1 or £2, it just floats away with the rest of the chat. So I'm not deliberately ignoring your super chat. It's basically what I'm trying to say there. Let's ignore the fact that my voice just broke. What's your plan on captaincy? They say Haaland starts. I'm going to discuss that in 2 seconds. I'm just going to make sure I haven't missed anything else. So captaincy. My opinion of it is if Haaland starts... Haaland is the best captaincy option, right? I think that without a shadow of a doubt, I like that. However, I think there is a chance that Haaland doesn't start. And if Haaland doesn't start, then of course, I believe Salah is a better captaincy option. So my opinion on this and my perspective is, if Haaland is leaked to start, so if we get some early team news and Haaland starts, I think that will put less of a strain on the server than if he doesn't. So I think if the news comes through, Haaland starts, I think most people will probably keep their team roughly as it is. Whereas if we get news that Haaland doesn't start, I think that sends the entire FPL community into mass hysteria. I think people start taking Haaland out, they start switching the armband, and I think that will put much more pressure on the server. So I guess my theory here is it will be much easier to switch my armband from Salah to Haaland if Haaland starts than it will be from Haaland to Salah if Haaland doesn't start. Hopefully that logic makes sense. But essentially what I'm getting at is I think it will be easier to switch the armband from Salah to Haaland than Haaland to Salah. So I don't think Salah's a better captaincy option if Haaland starts. If we get news Haaland starts, I will try my best to captain Haaland. I just think that switch will be easier than the other way around. And worst case scenario, and I can't switch from Salah to Haaland, I still think Salah's a good captaincy option regardless of what happens with Haaland. Whereas Haaland, we're massively dependent on whether he starts or not. So yeah, that's my logic, but it could be wrong. It could be that the site crashes regardless. I don't see why the site would crash if we get news that Haaland starts. It doesn't change many people's teams, and I think a lot of people will sit the armband on Haaland anyway. So that's my attempt at a big brain move for why I've captained Salah instead of Haaland. Hopefully that makes sense. Right. Martial or Solanke to replace Mitrovic? I prefer Martial. Bit of fun, isn't it? Where's the love for Kane? I don't know. I think he's fine for this week. I can't get to him, and I think a lot of people can't get to him. And also, there's been a lot of comments about him being fatigued. He's obviously going to the World Cup. How many minutes he plays, I don't know. If Tottenham are 1 or 2 up, do they remove Kane? But I guess if they are 1 or 2 up, then Kane's probably got something. I don't mind Kane this week. I'm just not that interested myself. Rank Trippier, Dunk Gahey, start Eze or Almiron. I would rank them potentially in that order. In that order? In that order. Trippier, Dunk Gahey. Would I start Eze or Almiron? I'd probably go Almiron. He's in such good form, isn't he? I probably wouldn't bet against him at the moment. Jesus to Darwin, start Andreas or Mitrovic to Firmino. I prefer Mitrovic to Firmino. I don't like the idea of selling Jesus, DP. I've Haaland, Alvarez, and Kane. Would you still do Alvarez to Darwin? I've 3.6 million in the bank. Yeah. I don't know if I would do that if Alvarez starts though. I guess I would wait for early team news, but you run the risk of the server crashing. But yeah, I think Alvarez to Darwin is a very good move if Alvarez doesn't start. Morning, Ross. This is the game week I get under 3 million. It's been a tough start for you, hasn't it, Scott? 1 week punt. Who am I taking Dallo out for? Thinking about Canate. Got triple City already. I don't know, actually. There aren't that many punts that excite me in defence. I guess you haven't got that much money in the bank. Otherwise, Perisic feels like a fairly obvious move. Zinchenko, can you get to Zinchenko? I don't mind Zinchenko. Outside that, you could just make the straight switch to Luke Shaw if you still fancy a Manchester United defender. Pope, Trippier, Cancelo. Right, you give me your team. What do you think? I think that looks perfect. I have absolutely no issues with that. You've got most of the major bases covered. Team looks perfect. Again, if you've got a free transfer, you don't need to use it. The team it looks like a free hit team. Who's the best team for a clean sheet this week? Newcastle, Brighton, Palace, West Ham. I don't see many clean sheets this week. When I looked at the fixtures, I'm not convinced by many of them, to be honest. I think Brighton have got a decent chance. Yeah, maybe Palace, but it is away from home. I guess Brighton. Maybe Liverpool outside of that. God, I'm not doing well with the chat today. I'm missing everything. Thank you very much for becoming a Rap Tier 1, a Rap Tier 2 member, I should say, Jason. I appreciate it very much. Welcome to the Rap Tier family. Start 2 of Perisic, Trippier, or Saliba. I would start... That's a really tricky one. I'd start Perisic and Trippier, but I would like to find a way to get Saliba in. But yeah, I think Perisic and Trippier just have much greater attacking potential than Saliba. So I would lean that way. I don't have any Man City team news at the moment. I'm not planning on getting any Man City team news until a little bit closer to the deadline. My prediction is at the moment, I think Haaland starts, Alvarez is benched, and Foden starts. So I would expect it to be the reverse of last week. I think Foden and Haaland start. I think Alvarez is benched. That being said, I've seen a lot of predictions that are still predicting Haaland to be benched. A lot of people still believe Pep that Haaland isn't quite there with his fitness, and as a result, Alvarez would start. So it's completely up to you whether you want to make the move now or if you want to wait for early team news. I think I'll be waiting for early team news. Chat, check out the mental health questionnaire. Thank you very much. Great content. Keep up the good work. If Haaland doesn't start, captain KDB or Darwin, keep Wilson or -4 for Martial. I think I would keep Wilson. I think there's a good chance he starts by the sounds of it. Although I think maybe it's for free. I don't mind removing Wilson for free. I don't like the idea of removing him for a hit. And I would captain. I think I would captain Darwin instead of KDB, but I think KDB is the safer option. Probably the safer option. Thanks for the Martial Solanke call transfer made. Good luck, Anesh. Hope it works out well for you. Big Bournemouth clean sheet and huge Smith points. Yeah, I could see Bournemouth keeping a clean sheet. It's a very good fixture at the moment, isn't it? Mitro and Firmino out for Darwin and Solanke. I don't mind that. I think that makes sense. Again, I'm going to keep Firmino, but I understand why you would want to move to Darwin. I think he's a much better option than Firmino. 3,300 people watching and only 276 likes. Sort it out, people. Absolutely. I'm going to take a swig of water. If whilst I'm doing that, you could drop a like and make sure to subscribe, I would massively appreciate that. Thank you very much. The likes just doubled just like that, just by asking. If you wonder why YouTubers always ask for people to like the stream, it's because by asking, people actually do. So thank you. All right, I think I'm massively behind again. I just want to be caught up with the chat, but I can't because I'm so far behind constantly. What am I doing? Danny asks, hey Ross, 1 free transfer and 2 options of Wilson to Darwin or Mitrovic to Martial. Won't be doing both. Always enjoying your content. Thanks, man. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate you. See, I'd much rather remove Mitrovic than Wilson, but of course, I prefer Darwin to Martial. I'd maybe bank on Wilson missing out and go for Darwin, but again, it depends who's coming on for Mitrovic, because Mitrovic is definitely out. So if you don't make the Mitrovic move, who's your first sub? I think that massively affects it. So it's your call there. I don't know entirely which way I would lean there, but I prefer Darwin, but I would want to take out Mitrovic is my answer. Mr. Chisel Planet has just gifted 5 Rap Tier 1 memberships. So 5 of you have just got a Rap Tier 1 membership courtesy of Chisel Planet. So thank you so much for doing that. So it was Tech, Ali, Amir, Yusuf, and Dylan have all just been given a Rap Tier 1 membership. I like this. It's a bit like Twitch, isn't it? Through gifting memberships. But thank you, my man. I appreciate you. You're far too generous. And make sure if you're one of the people that's just been gifted a membership, make sure to thank Chisel Planet. Would you start Alvarez if Haaland starts? I think I plan on keeping Alvarez regardless. I think I'm going to make the Trent move. But maybe if Alvarez is out, it makes more sense to do Alvarez to Jesus. I think I'm going to wait for early team news and risk. If the server crashes, the server crashes. Let me actually run a poll for that very quickly. What time are you expecting team news? I don't actually know. Probably like 20 minutes before the deadline again. I don't even know if we are. I'll have a look in a second if he's tweeted anything. Start a poll. I've just put a poll in the chat. I'm just wondering if you currently plan on waiting for early team news, or if you're going to, either you've already made your transfer, or you're going to make your transfer before, but way before we get the team news. I'm just interested what you're currently planning. I guess for a lot of the people here, if you're watching a deadline stream at 9:30 on a Saturday morning, you're probably someone that takes it quite seriously. So maybe it's not the best indication of how many people are waiting. But yeah, I would expect a lot of people here probably will be. But again, I do not blame you if you're not. I do not blame you if you're not. Last one from Robert. Martinelli, Rashford, Zaha, Foden, Almiron, bench 1. I'd bench Almiron, but I don't like the idea of benching any of them, to be honest. Looking for a Christmas present for the wife. Buy her a copy of Ross's book. There we go. There we go. I don't think anyone would be particularly happy with that unless they play FPL, but yeah, why not? It's a good stocking filler, isn't it? I should probably promote my book more than I do, but there we go. It does float around. Oh, there we go. Perfect timing. It does float around above my head. If you do want to buy a book for Christmas for someone or for yourself, if you want to add like a cheap, if someone says, oh, I want to get you like a cheap present, just say, I want Ross's book. Have you seen Newcastle's post about Wilson? I don't believe in posts. The social media teams don't get access to the team sheets, so they have no idea. Hi, Mitrovic to Solanke or Martial? I would go... I think Solanke's safer for minutes and he's on penalties, but Martial's he's a more exciting one-week punt for me. So I think considering you don't need to keep this team long-term, I would favour Mitrovic to Solanke, to Martial rather than Mitrovic to Solanke. But again, Solanke is a decent option. He's got a good fixture. He's on pens, and you know he's going to play 90 minutes. Why is Haaland your vice captain? So the thought process behind this is, I've just explained why I'm captain Salah. If you want to know why I'm captain Salah, I'm not going to go through it again. I said that like 10 minutes ago. But my thought process is, if I want to make that switch, again, I've tried big braining this as much as possible. If I want to make a switch on captaincy and my vice captain isn't on Haaland, when I switch my captain to Haaland, my vice captain, like, I think it's just easier if I switch my captain from Haaland from let me try again. If I switch my captaincy to Haaland, my vice captain would become Salah naturally. So I just think it's easier. It's just one click of the button and it switches for me. But yeah, I think Haaland will start, but I'm not confident enough yet to bet on that. That's why at the moment the armband's on Salah. But if we get news that Haaland starts, if I can, which is a big if, I'll try and switch the armband to Haaland. If the site hasn't crashed. Start one of Anderson, Estepinian, or Mings. Wouldn't be Mings for me. I think Villa look okay, but they look a bit messy defensively under Emery so far. I'd probably go Estepinian, but I don't know for certain that he starts. I'm not a Brighton fan, so if there's any doubt, maybe Anderson's the one. Maybe Anderson's the one. Ward or Pope? What do we think, chat? I'm going to get that question a lot. Would you start Ward or Pope? I don't think either will keep a clean sheet. I'll be completely honest. If I had to guess, I would say both are looking at 2 or 3 pointers. Maybe I would back Pope for the home fixture. But again, if you've got Trippier already, maybe you just spread the risk a little bit and go for like a Ward Trippier. Or if you've already got a Castagna, maybe you go for Pope. Just, you know what I mean? Maybe you just spread the risk a little. I'm not convinced either keep a clean sheet massively. Start Gahey or Webster. Thanks for all the content. I'd maybe back the home fixture just about. So maybe Webster. But again, I'm not necessarily convinced either of those keep a clean sheet. I can't see... When I looked at the fixtures... Let's actually bring up the fixtures. I'm not really sure how I see this going. I don't see a massive amount of clean sheets there. But maybe there will be clean sheets, but I just don't think they're necessarily that easy to predict. Like, I think I would back Arsenal to keep a clean sheet, but it is away. Chelsea, Newcastle, I think there'll be goals in that game. West Ham, Leicester, I think there'll be goals. Spurs, Leeds, I can't see either team keeping a clean sheet massively. Forest, Palace, maybe there is a clean sheet in there for one of them. I guess you would back Palace if you were to. Liverpool look good. Bournemouth, Everton, that could be like a 0-0, I guess. City, you would usually, but I can see Brentford scoring. I don't know. I think they're very difficult games to predict, maybe more so than I can't see any clean sheets. There's a lot of equal matchups. Like, I see a lot of games here where I'm like, I couldn't predict who's going to win out of those two, which is not always the case in Premier League and in FPL. I think it's a difficult week to try and predict. This is the game week history, by the way. You can see I really desperately needed the... why is my internet's really lagging out? I desperately needed that green arrow last week. 4 red arrows in a row. It was starting to get quite depressing. But they were relatively small red arrows, I suppose. There's a lot of people disagreeing about Pope and Ward in the chat. I was hoping that the chat would give us a definitive answer. But it seems like a lot of people think Pope, a lot of people think Ward. So that hasn't helped at all. Well done, chat. You're never very helpful, are you? I will admit, as much as I love you guys, and I do genuinely love everyone that's here, you're not very helpful. You always disagree with each other. I think every time I've run a poll to help you for help with my team from you, it's always a 50-50 as well. Firmino to Darwin or Jesus or hold. I'm holding Firmino, but I think Darwin's the one if you want to move. Darwin, Martial or Firmino, Jesus. God, that's a tough one. Oh, that's a really tough. I would go Darwin, Martial probably. Ross, Martial is on pens though with Ronaldo out. I still think Bruno's on pens. I know Martial took one. I think, did he win the pen though? I still think Bruno's on pens ahead of Martial personally. But yeah, there's a small chance Martial does take a penalty. What transfers are you making? I don't know yet. It will be one of Jesus or Trent probably coming in for me. Let me switch back to my team. There we go. Yeah, it will be either Trent in for Doherty, and then I would bench Castagna, or it will be Jesus in for Alvarez. So they're my two current possible transfers. Do you have to make a transfer this week? No, you don't have to make a transfer this week if you don't want to. Don't have to make a transfer any week. But we have unlimited transfers over the World Cup, so you might as well. You might as well. If KDB and Alvarez are dropped, I'm retiring for the season. I think that one of them should start, Sam. I think if Alvarez and Haaland start together, KDB might be dropped, but that's the only way I can see KDB being dropped is if Alvarez starts. I can't see both being benched. I do think there's a small chance that KDB gets managed minutes in this game. I'm not necessarily saying I think that he'll start on the bench, but yeah, if City are 2 or 3 up, which is a high possibility, I think some of the key players for their World Cup teams might start coming off early. But I think that's the case for pretty much every team this week. I think we're going to get a lot of our players that usually get 90 minutes, maybe getting like 60 to 70 if they're going to the World Cup. That isn't to say that I think clubs will prioritise the World Cup ahead of their game. Like, I think if it's like 1-1 in the City game, I don't think De Bruyne is coming off. But I think if these teams have their game wrapped up, then... Oh, my camera's gone. Then I think maybe we'll start to see some early substitutions. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we're overthinking it a little bit. What are your thoughts on baked beans? Yeah, I don't mind baked beans. Thank you for your question. Castagna or Ben White? I'd probably start Ben White. I think the clean sheet's more likely, but Castagna's got obviously slightly better attacking threat. Jesus or Solanke? It's got to be Jesus for me. Jesus' data is brilliant. Take a hit for Mitrovic. Depends who comes on for Mitrovic instead. If you've got someone like an Andreas or a decent... But maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I wouldn't. Yeah, I know the camera's off. I'm just resetting the camera. 2 seconds. I'll be back. Don't you worry. To be fair, every time I turn my camera off, I actually gain people viewing. I think people are like, yes, Raptor's ugly face isn't there anymore. Let's tune in. I know you can't see my face. I know. These are clearly people that have never seen the stream before. Because the camera goes off on a regular basis. There I am. Donuts for breakfast whilst I wash up. Jealous much? Wait. You're getting donuts made for you. Are you eating donuts whilst you're washing up? If so, is Mrs. Bateman feeding you the donuts? If that's the case, I'm absolutely jealous. Although, I listen, I don't think washing up's particularly exciting, Marcus. So, what's your gut saying on Foden and Haaland? My gut is saying both start, but let's see. Got a super chat from Robin. If no news, 1, De Bruyne and Alvarez to Haaland and £7.6 million midfielder, or 2, Cancelo and Jesus to Haaland and 4.3 defender and play him, or 3, Jesus to Darwin and no Haaland and captain Salah. If that's for free, I don't mind the De Bruyne and Alvarez to Haaland and a midfielder, but again, De Bruyne and Alvarez could start, and then I really don't like 2. I don't like... Taking out Cancelo and Jesus seems like absolute madness to me. I think I prefer 3. But I still don't like the idea of taking Jesus out. I'll be completely honest, Robin. I'm not sure I like any of those 3. But I would lean towards... I think if you don't own Haaland, I don't think it's worth destroying your team to bring him back in. I don't mind it for a hit if you like the other players you're bringing in. So maybe 1, definitely not 2. I guess 3 is fine if you really think Darwin's better than Jesus. But I think Darwin and Jesus are relatively close this week. I prefer Darwin, but I wouldn't move from Jesus to Darwin if I own Jesus. Yes, Mrs. B is feeding me grapes next. God, yeah, I am jealous in that case, Marcus. I am jealous. Will Haaland play? I don't know at the moment. Again, Man City, I'm not going to have any knowledge unless someone drops me a DM that with early team news, but I probably wouldn't trust it anyway. I'm not going to have anything until like half an hour before the deadline. Big Rossi, good to see you. Now Yelena news. We'll discuss things not related to FPL post deadline. That's the after hours stream after 11 a.m. I love your face. I love your face, Gay. Thank you for being here. A lot of people looking at whether they would sell Wilson. Chat, what are we thinking? What are we thinking for Wilson? A lot of people asking that question, and I'll be honest, I don't actually have an answer. Do we think Wilson starts? Do we think he doesn't? Do we think he starts but gets his minutes managed? Basically, the only news that we've got on Wilson is that he's trained away from the squad for the week and that Eddie Howe would assess him ahead of the weekend. I think there's a small chance he does play. I don't know. What do we think, chat? Help out everyone that's wondering about Wilson. If you own him, what are you doing with him? And if you don't own him, would you sell him? If I had to guess now, I would say he starts and comes off early. But, there we go. Raptor is the best looking YouTuber. That's just definitely not true, but thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. I can think of at least 5 or 6 FPL YouTubers that are better looking, but I appreciate you anyway. Keep Wilson with a good first sub. Yeah, probably what I would do. Keep Wilson. Sell him if you can get Jesus or Darwin to replace. Else hold, in my opinion. Yeah, I think I would agree again. I think Jesus and Darwin are good replacements. Maybe keep otherwise. As I said, I don't think Wilson would travel unless he starts. I think he starts or he doesn't feature at all. So if you've got a good first sub, I think you're fine keeping Wilson. Would be my opinion on it. I've sold him for Darwin, but think he might just play. Again, though, I still think even if he plays, I prefer Darwin. So I don't think that's a huge issue, Clive. I think you're fine there. Super chat from Richard, but there was no message attached. So I'll try and look out for your name, but yeah, no message there. Who are the 5 better looking YouTubers? I'm not going to... Again, that can be post-deadline. I prefer As Is Tasty. Yeah, As Is Tasty. As Is Beautiful. Of course he is. Gorgeous man. Wilson and Alvarez to Martial and Darwin for a -4. I don't like the -4, but that does seem pretty good, considering Wilson and Alvarez are both doubts to start. But again, if Wilson and Alvarez start, then they're great options. It's really tricky, isn't it? It just comes down to what you predict, I think. Is Salah your captain for real? Salah is my captain for real. Tim in the chat says Mitrovic to Martial for free. Captain Salah, no Haaland or Mitrovic and KDB. Oh, no Haaland or Mitrovic and KDB to Haaland and Rashford -4. I think I prefer Mitrovic to Martial for free and Captain Salah, as long as you think that Salah is capable of matching Haaland if he starts. If you genuinely believe Haaland is a significantly better captaincy option than Salah, then I would make the move for Haaland. It really comes down to what you think. I think that's a really tricky one, though, because I think I prefer Rashford to Martial, and I prefer Haaland captaincy, but taking out KDB as part of that and it costing a -4, I'm less convinced. So I would probably go for the free option, Tim, but I'm against hits in general. I haven't taken a hit this season. I'm not massively into hits myself, unless there are double game weeks. Oh, Frosty, I've just seen your message. I'm not going to read that out loud, but that made me laugh. It's the most accurate thing I've ever seen. Would you... I don't even know what I'm doing. Would you sell Bowen for the likes of Trossard, Rashford? No, I wouldn't. I'm not massive on selling someone with a decent fixture this week, personally. I just think... Like, just don't need to change our teams that much. I know it's the final week and we get a bit excited. It's like the final day of school, but I'm not that keen on taking out players with decent fixtures. Do you think Foden starts? I do think he'll start, but again, we should hopefully find out. We should hopefully find out. Nearly at 1,000 likes. We actually are, aren't we? Nearly at 1,000 likes. Go on, drop a like on the stream. Why not? Why not? Kulusevski or Saka for Foden -4 if he is benched. If he's benched, yes. I'd be tempted by Kulusevski, Jamie. I think Kulusevski is a very cheeky punt. So yeah, I would lean towards doing that. Best striker for under 8 million. What's Jesus? If you can afford I can't remember what Jesus' price is. I think he's gone up, hasn't he? Jesus, if you can't, probably Martial or Solanke. But again, the options just aren't that inspiring, are they? I'd probably go Martial, but there we go. City news. I have no City news yet. We're not going to get City news for at least another 45 minutes. But it will probably be a little bit longer than that. Late to the stream. What's the plan for this game week, Ross? No worries at all. Yeah, I know a lot of people coming in and out of the streams, obviously. So my plan is either to bring in Trent for Doherty, and I would start Trent instead of Castagna. So Castagna would drop to my bench. Or it's Alvarez to Jesus, and then the team stays as is. So Jesus or Trent, I think I've narrowed it down to those two. Obviously, Jesus, I think, has good upside, but it would put me on triple Arsenal attack. Trent, I think, I'm probably leaning Trent at the moment, but if Alvarez doesn't start, it probably makes sense to take him out. So I think at the moment, the plan is wait for early team news. If Alvarez starts, it will be the Trent option. If Alvarez doesn't start, I guess it makes more sense to do the Jesus move. I have KDB, Darwin, and Haaland, but no Salah. Who would you captain if we get no early team news? Good luck with your rank. I'd probably slap it on Haaland and just hope he starts, but I would probably say Haaland, Darwin, KDB. I really do think Darwin will do well this week. But yeah, maybe KDB's probably the safest option of the three. So it depends what sort of manager you are. Who would you start, Ward over Pope? Or would you start Ward over Pope? Depends on the rest of your defense. I think because I don't think either will keep a clean sheet, I'd maybe look to spread the risk on this occasion. So maybe on this one occasion, I don't normally advise it. I would maybe start Ward if you've got Trippier, and I would start Pope if you've got like a Castagna. So I would look at the rest of your defense and maybe just spread the risk. One free transfer. Wilson to Darwin. Start Haaland, bench Alvarez. Yeah, that looks good to me. Again, it depends. If Alvarez starts, then no. But if Alvarez doesn't start, then yes. It's a fairly obvious one once we know. But I think there is still a decent chance, or a small chance maybe, that Alvarez starts. Jamie says, bench one of Trippier, Shaw, Zinchenko, Alvarez. At the moment, sure. But again, if Alvarez is benched, then Alvarez. But at the moment, but just because I think if he starts, he's the best option of all of them, I would probably bench Shaw at the moment. But I don't think that's an easy one. Are you keeping Firmino? Yeah, I'm probably keeping Firmino myself. I think so. Mr. Raptor, you have missed my comment. Have I actually, Bilal? I apologise. Let me have a look for it. Can't see it, unfortunately. Ask it again. Ask it again, and I will look out. How's Tinder? We'll discuss Tinder post deadline. Any questions that you... By the way, if you don't know, after the deadline, we have a pretty funny kind of Q&A session. So if there are any questions that you want to ask in and around FPL that aren't necessarily related to this game week, post deadline after 11 a.m, you can ask any questions you want. Any questions you want. Yeah, I answered that one, Frosty, I think. Hello, Dr. Ross. Not quite a doctor yet, but hello. Good morning. KDB to Salah and Martinelli to Almiron. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Sorry. I don't like the idea of selling Martinelli for Almiron. The way I see it is if Haaland starts and Alvarez doesn't, then Haaland will probably play the full 90. And why risk Alvarez when he's going to the World Cup? Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's the case. So maybe you just start Alvarez regardless. Trying to use logic with Pep maybe isn't the best idea, though. Doesn't always work, does it? I transferred Wilson to Darwin this week. That looks good. Mr. Frog, I like that. Sounds like a good transfer. Do you know Dr. Ross from Friends TV show? I do know Dr. Ross. And he's also into dinosaurs, isn't he? What's it called? Is Paleontologist? Have I just made that up? Anyway, yeah, Ross and Dinosaurs from... This is... people have made the link before as well. Alvarez and Wilson in my team. Who to transfer in? 0.6 million in the bank and already have 3 Arsenal players. 0.1 short for Alvarez to Martial. Again, I would probably have to wait for early team news to know that because I just don't know if Alvarez or Wilson will start. I'm sorry. There's no point me trying to predict particularly. I think Wilson's obviously been ill. Alvarez has got a decent chance of being benched. It's up to you which one you think's more likely to start. I would maybe keep Alvarez just because we at least know he's fit, whereas Wilson's a doubt. So maybe Wilson to Martial or Wilson to Jesus. I don't know if you've got the funds for that. If Alvarez starts, Nunes or Alvarez. If Alvarez starts, I would still favour Darwin, but I wouldn't go Alvarez to Darwin, if that makes sense. But if you're just making a clean choice, I still prefer Darwin instead of Alvarez. Your face is quite attractive. Thank you. I'm sure your face is quite attractive as well. Good morning is always a good start. Google morning is... I don't know what that message even says. I'll just ignore it. Jesus in and play Andreas or Darwin. It's Jesus in and play Andreas or Darwin and Solanke -4. So it's basically Jesus and Andreas or Darwin and Solanke for a -4. I would go... That's already... I'd probably go Jesus and Andreas, but I do really like the idea of Darwin again. It's a tough one. That is a tough one. Mitrovic to Martial or Dunk to Perisic and bench Mitrovic. I quite like Dunk to Perisic. No, I think the more exciting pick is Mitrovic to Martial, but I think maybe Perisic is a little bit safer because we know he'll start. Mitrovic, there's still a doubt. There's still a doubt. Yeah, he is paleontologist. Good. I didn't make that word up. I was worried I'd just made a word up then. Oh, God, the chat, mate. You make me laugh sometimes, chat. Which 4 from Zaha, Saka, Martinelli, Almiron, Solanke? Zaha, Saka, Martinelli, Almiron, Solanke. I don't know what you mean, like which 4 to start, which 4 to transfer in. If you're going to ask me a question, can I ask 2 things when you're asking questions? Number 1, you make it explicitly obvious what you mean, like don't use ambiguous terms. And number 2, can you try and use punctuation? Because when you say like Darwin or and this and or this and plus, and I'm like, there's no like commas, it's really tricky for me to try and understand what you're asking. So when you send these messages in, can you try your best to use commas, colons, semicolons, slashes, dashes, hyphens in the correct place? Which 4? I assume you mean which one would I bench them? I would bench Almiron personally, but I know he's been in a fine form and Chelsea aren't great defensively, so I know most people wouldn't agree with that. So maybe Solanke. I would definitely wouldn't bench Saka, Zaha, or Martinelli. It would be one of Almiron or Solanke to bench. Why not Kane? He's a premium striker. It's a bit like saying why not KDB, Salah, and Haaland. Like you can only have so many premiums, and I just he's looked very fatigued. I mean, Conte actually commented on how fatigued he'd been. He obviously wants to rest up before the World Cup. I think there's a good chance he doesn't get 90 minutes this game week as well. Any thoughts on Konate? Yeah, I think Konate will start, but he's just a bit of a boring pick. He could score, of course, but... Foden or Saka? Don't want to wait for early team news. If you don't want to risk it, Saka's fine, but I think Foden will start, but that's just... I've said that for 3 weeks in a row, and I've got it wrong 3 weeks in a row, so maybe you wouldn't trust me. Got about an hour till the deadline, potentially less than an hour until the deadline if it crashes. So I feel like if you're not waiting for early team news and you don't want to risk the site crashing, I would say 10:15 UK time, GMT, is probably your cutoff for when you want to make your transfers. So I think you've probably got about 20 to 30 minutes if you don't want to risk the site crashing and you don't want to wait for team news before you confirm your transfers. So if you aren't waiting, I would start to think about confirming those transfers soon. I'll end that poll, by the way. It looks like exactly 2/3 are waiting for early team news and exactly 1/3 are not. So the overwhelming majority are looking to wait, which probably means that we're going to get a site crash if this stream is anything to go by. Wilson and Zaha/Foden or Darwin and Almiron/Rashford for a hit. I think Darwin and Rashford for a hit sounds so nice. That is a hit that I could maybe get behind, but I don't know who you're taking out. Does it mean you're taking out Wilson and then one of Zaha and Foden? If that's the case, it's less appealing because I think Zaha and Foden are great this week. I'll leave that up to you. I think that is one of the few hits that I've seen that I'm like, yeah, there are two players coming in that could go massive this week. You may have done these. Gahey or Perisic for first sub. Definitely Perisic. I'd start Perisic. Doherty to White or Mitrovic to Martial for Gahey, Solanke. I think Mitrovic to Martial's got the higher upside out of those, so I'd go Mitrovic to Martial. Risk playing Foden or transfer to Kulusevski. I would risk playing Foden personally, but I do really like Kulusevski for this week. Thank you for that, Frosty. Best replacements for Bowen. I'm not sure I would replace him, but Kulusevski, if you can afford it, I like as a punt. Maybe Foden if he starts. I think Foden and Kulusevski have the highest upside out of all of those sort of kind of picks. What is the team news? I don't have any team news yet. Like I said, probably, I would say around 40 minutes we're probably waiting for team news, but maybe half an hour if he leaks it a little bit early. Let me just check if he's said anything. I should actually just check my Twitter anyway. Right, sorry guys, I'm just checking if he's tweeted anything about whether he's going to get news or not. Team news and ticks. He's not even said anything on Twitter about getting it this week. He usually tweets something along the lines of he's getting it. So we might not even get early team news, which could provide us with a slight issue. Who is he? You definitely have a massive hog on you. What does that even mean? Am I being an idiot? Is that obvious what that means? What's a hog? Is that a nose? You saying I've got a big nose? It's not very nice, is it? This is his Twitter. But he's leaked it on Instagram the last couple of weeks. On Instagram, he's like leaked lineups, but you can click on his Instagram's linked in his Twitter bio. That's the guy that will leak early team news. If we don't get early team news, do you captain Salah or Haaland? I'd captain Salah. If we don't get team news, I'm not moving my armband. Ross, is this going to be the last stream in a while? It's going to be the last FPL stream for a while, but I do currently plan on trying to do one deadline stream. Might not necessarily be the deadline, but I plan on doing one live stream per match day for Fantasy World Cup. So if you're going to play World Cup fantasy football, then I currently plan on doing one stream. But it depends. If the streams really aren't very popular and no one cares, I probably won't bother with the streams. Oh, a hog is a gentleman's sausage. Oh, dear. Yeah, it's massive. Not doing that on the stream, Jesus. Okay, I maybe should have known that. Maybe I shouldn't have spoken about my hog. Oh dear. That's a post 11 a.m. discussion to talk about my hog. So I think the match days in World Cup fantasy football are like every 4 to 5 days. So I think you'll probably get like 2 streams from every 10 days. I don't know for sure though. I've got to be honest. I've not really looked into World Cup fantasy football a massive amount, but I have started creating my graphics for it, and I'm excited. Please give me a shout out. Hello Zen, good to see you. Yeah, and I'm also at the Football Content Awards next week. So we've got the Football Content Awards. I'm going with Nima, Harry, FPL Harry, and Oscar, FPL Focal, and Let's Talk FPL is going as well. So that's going to be exciting. So there's going to be a few few big YouTubers there, and I'm not including myself in that. But yeah, I'm really excited. That should be good fun. So if you don't know, I was nominated for the best in fantasy football category. I am competing with Let's Talk FPL, so I can't imagine that will go particularly well. But there we are. Please vlog the awards. We're going to do something. I've spoken to Harry and Oscar. We're talking about maybe doing a live stream from the hotel before the event, and we might film some of it there. No, Yelena's not going. Yelena is busy. I'm not even playing World Cup Fantasy, but I'll be here if I'm not at work for your streams as your fab. Thank you, Marcus. I appreciate that. I don't blame you for not playing World Cup Fantasy football, by the way. I would probably take a break if I wasn't creating content. Firmino, question mark? What about Firmino? Firmino is fine. I don't think I would prioritize bringing him in, but I equally think that he's fine if you can't afford Darwin and you don't really like the idea of Martial. Then I don't mind bringing Firmino in. I know nothing about the Iranian midfielders. This is the thing. Like, I think I'm fairly. I wouldn't say I'm an expert in the Premier League, but I have very good knowledge of the Premier League outside of FPL. Like, I watch a lot of Premier League football. I know every player. I know all their attributes. I know everything about them. And I also feel like I have good knowledge of FPL. So I can sit here comfortably for 3 hours and talk about FPL. And I don't feel like I'm misleading anyone. I feel comfortable and I feel like you can trust my advice. With World Cup Fantasy, I'm going to be like, I don't know. Who's this player? I've never even heard of them. So it's going to be fun. It will be a different experience. Raptor, do you have Bunda? Yes, massive Bunda. These are such post 11 a.m. questions. Wilson to Kane, good transfer. Yeah, I don't mind that. Martial or Perisic? I think they're very, very close. I think Perisic is the safer option because Perisic will start. Because Sessegnon's injured. So Perisic will almost definitely be starting at left wing back. Kulusevski in for Saka. Thoughts? I'm not sure I'm a big fan of that, but I do like Kulusevski for this week. DCL Pope out for Darwin Gaeta for a -4, Frosty said. I guess you've got to do Pope to Gaeta to afford DCL to Darwin, so I don't mind it. But goalkeeper transfers as part of a -4 seems like it's not a great idea, personally. How much to shave your beard? I don't want to do that. I'd look like an egg. I like my beard. It's not a great beard, but I just when you're bald, I don't think you can afford to have no beard as well. I just feel like a massive hard bald egg. So no amount of money could make me shave my beard. Maybe a little bit of Raptor score predictions. Yeah, we could do that in a bit. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. Maybe a good idea. I haven't got anything prepared, but we could just go through the fixtures. The thing is, this week I just don't know. Should I take an 18-point hit to get in Nick Pope? Yes. Thank you for getting me hooked on FPL. Got recommended by your YouTube channel in August. Your videos are very helpful. That is excellent to hear, Nemanja Vidic. I'm not going to try and pronounce your surname, but I love the name just because I love Vidic. Is Haaland starting? What is the news so far? My prediction is Haaland starting, but a few of the big journalists not in FPL from like Manchester City all seem to be predicting Haaland doesn't start. But then Emma's predictions, Emma sort of aggregates a lot of predictors' opinions. They all seem to think that Haaland will start. So to put all of that together, I've got no idea, and none of us have any idea. So there we are. If Haaland starts, transfer KDB to Salah for free. No, I think KDB and Salah are virtually equal for this week. Unless we get news that KDB's not starting. I think people are just getting really... People have just got massive FOMO on Salah because of what he's done in the past and what he did last week. But I don't think his 2 goals last week should massively influence what you think he can do. If that makes sense. I think we know what Salah can do just because he got a brace last week. If you weren't planning on bringing in Salah this week, I don't think his goals last week should influence whether you bring him in or not. Arjan has just become a Raptor 2 supporter. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Welcome to the Raptor family. I have one transfer, Trent, Nunez or Saka. I think Darwin's the one to prioritise, but it depends who you're taking out and what the rest of your team looks like. But yeah, I would lean Darwin. What does Boona predict, Ross? I don't know. Don't have a clue. I don't know what he's trolling this week. FPL Diz says Mitrovic and Saka to Darwin and Benrahma for a -4. Is it worth it? I don't like -4s this week particularly, and especially not to take out Saka, who I think is a good option. I wonder if you can just do Mitrovic to someone else instead. I don't mind. I think Darwin and Benrahma are really nice options, especially Darwin, but a -4 to remove a penalty taker with a decent fixture against Wolves doesn't sit quite right with me, unfortunately. But again, I'm very hit averse. If you ask me, Raptor, should I take this hit? Most of the time, my answer will be probably no. Unless you're taking out like 2 injured players. Apparently, Pep is on the bench today. Probably. I think I actually saw... how is my camera doing it so often today? I think I actually saw something that said... did I see something about Klopp? I'm sure I saw something about Klopp getting a suspension or not being on the bench or something. Did I see that right? Maybe I dreamt that. I don't know. Apparently, Team News and Ticks has tweeted, but someone just said he had 50,000 followers. The Team News and Ticks has 97,000. So that's probably someone pretending to be him. I haven't seen any reliable team news myself, but if you guys have seen something, please do let me know. Where are you seeing that, Zodiac? Because he doesn't have 50,000. Yeah, Klopp is in the stands. Okay, cool. I didn't dream that then. Hello, mate. Congrats for the amazing content and the start to the season. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Would you start Solanke or Andreas? I'd start Solanke myself. Send it to me on DM, Zodiac. Don't link it because I don't think it's real and I don't want people to do it. No camera but voice. It's spooky. Yeah, I know my camera. I just needed to reset it. It keeps lagging out. It's getting worse. I'm going to try my very best to sort it over the World Cup. I will try my very best. I'm going to buy new cables. I'm not going to buy a new camera, but I'll try loads of different stuff. Yeah, send it to me via DM, Zodiac, and when you have, let me know, and I'll check it out. But I think it's probably someone trolling. Everybody do the dab. Woo has just been gifted a membership by Chisel Planet, of course, because Chisel Planet is like Oprah with these gifted memberships. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Right, where's my camera? Camera back. There I am. There I am. Apparently you've sent it to me on Discord. Right, let me have a look. I don't... How many members do we have on Discord, by the way? Frosty, can I ask you to drop the Discord link in the chat, please? Yeah, that's a fake account. That's fake. Right, so there's a tweet going around from someone that's not Team News and Ticks pretending to be. So just be careful. So a good way to know this is... where am I? Let me go back. Yeah, join the Discord, by the way. Frosty's just linked it in the chat. We're almost at 2,000 members in the Discord, so please do join. The Team News and Ticks has 97,000 followers. So unless they have around 97 to 100,000 followers, it's a fake. Did you take off your hat because I can't see you? Would you go no Haaland with Alvarez, Nunes, and Kane? Obviously, Haaland's one of the best options if he starts, but if we don't know he's going to start, then maybe it's worth taking a risk going without. Whoever that is a troll, yes. So yeah, they've blocked me on Twitter. I don't know why. I can't even view their page because they've blocked me. I don't know why. I assume it's because they're a troll and they know they'll get called out. They've probably blocked a lot of the major content creators because major content creators will just call them out for it. Is this your final team for the week? Well, I've got one free transfer, so yeah. Should I buy Ben White or Perisic? I prefer Perisic myself. I just think he's got more attacking threat. Please can you highlight my super chat? Adastra. Can't see anything. Did I miss you? Oh, there you go. Sorry. I've just seen your super chat. Who to captain with Haaland and Salah? Without Haaland and Salah, Kane, Zaha, or Saka? Have you not got KDB? I think I prefer KDB. If you've only got the one premium and it's Kane, I would just captain Kane. He's on penalties. He should play. Yeah, I think I would go Kane. But to be honest, Haaland and Salah are the best captaincy options, so I would maybe look at bringing in one of them if you can. What was your last week's points? I can show you. Yeah, 69. I know. Such a child. 69 points. That was my team. So basically Alvarez, Salah, and Trippier and Castagne were the only players that pulled through for me. The rest blanked. Well, Haaland got something, didn't he? And Saka got a little something. But yeah, it was just a week where I got captaincy right and I kept Salah, and Castagne got the clean sheet, and that was enough for a green arrow. So we're back up into the top 1K, 908th, which is exciting, very exciting. All right. Darwin for Firmino or Wilson? Wilson, I would go. I'd keep Firmino. I think Firmino's fine. Who to captain? Oh, I've done that one. My daughter thinks dabbing is uncool. She's 12. Your daughter is very knowledgeable then. Would you go no Haaland without? Right, I've done that one. I think I've done all the super chats. I think I'm back. Right, let's just look at other stuff. Kulusevski or Rashford? Rashford. Darwin or Firmino? Darwin, definitely. Will we get early team news? I don't know. I would hope so, but I don't know for sure. Ross, I filled out your psychology survey. All the best of luck on the research as a Marsh student. Truly inspiring. Thank you so much for reminding me and for the kind words. There is a link at the top of the description. This isn't an ad, by the way. I'm carrying out research on the effect of fantasy football on mental health. So as you can see on your screen, this is the first study that we published last year. You can feel free to go and find this on Google. If you just type in that title, you can see I'm second author on that paper. We're doing a series of studies. We've already done 3 studies. One's been published and 2 are in the process of being published. And we're currently carrying out a 4th study at the moment. There will be a link in the description. Basically, we just want to find out more about the effects that fantasy football has on our mental health, both positive and negative, because it can really help us. Like, it can be used as a form of escape. It can be used to build relationships and stuff like that. But of course, if you're heavily invested in FPL, as you'll know, there are some negative elements. So we want to understand that better. And once we have a better understanding, we can maybe put some things in place that will help. So it takes about half an hour. So I'm not advising you necessarily do it now because we've got the deadline. But if you can maybe just save the link and just set a reminder to fill it out later today, that would be really helpful. So I have linked it in the description. First link in the description. Please feel free to fill out the survey. And it would really help. And I appreciate it. Flexbox says Wilson and Alvarez starts with Andreas and Webster on the bench. Take a -4 to replace one. No, I think you're fine, to be honest. If they don't feature at all, I think that's a strong set of first subs. I'm not sure it's worth taking a hit. I would probably just start both. I would probably start both of them and keep your bench as is. Giandre says, thoughts on Haaland and Alvarez benched as he's played a lot of minutes. Foden as a false 9, have Haaland and Alvarez what to do. I suppose there is a chance they're both benched, but I think one of them will start. I think one of them will start personally. Congratulations for the publication, Ross. Thank you. Dyer Almiron. I would start Almiron. Please don't spam in the chat. Everybody do the dab. Woo. I know you've just been gifted a membership. Please don't spam. Otherwise, we'll have to time you out. Actually, in fact, I'm going to time you out because you're not listening. Please don't spam. I'll try and get through to your message, but don't repeatedly spam the same message over and over. Today is FPL Focal's birthday. Is it today or is it tomorrow? Maybe it is today. I need to wish him a happy birthday. I don't even know how old Focal is. It's a good question. Toronto Raptors #1. Big up. Big up, Toronto Raptors. Start Mikalenko or Andreas. I would go Andreas because he's on pens in the absence of Mitrovic. Well, we think he is anyway. It might be who wins the pen, but yeah, I think Andreas should be on pens. I've just joined the Discord. Good man. I went for, or woman, I should say. I just assumed, but I shouldn't. I went from Haaland, Foden to Alvarez, KDB last week and cannot reverse. Would you take a hit to go to Haaland, Rashford if we get early news? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. If we get early news, maybe. Folk was 31 today. I know he's around that age, but I don't know his exact age. He's not 25. That was my guess. No, I'm 25. Focal's older than me. I think Focal's a good 5 or 6 years older than me. I'm just a baby. I'm just a young... Oh, he is 31. Okay, cool. So yeah, so Focal's 6 years older than me, which is weird to think. All right, buddy, great content. Thank you very much. You and Focal are sound guys. Speaking of Focal, very humble. If we don't receive concrete news regarding Haaland, is it best to just captain Salah? Yeah, if we don't get news on Haaland, I'll probably keep the armband on Salah, just because I just don't know that it's worth taking the risk. But hopefully we do get news. Hopefully we do get news. Is Ronaldo available? I don't know. Apparently he was ill. That's why he missed out in the EFL Cup. I don't think there's a massive need to risk him ahead of the World Cup. So I would maybe say no. I just think like maybe we do play him, but I just don't think. I think we've got enough options. I think we could play Garnacho on the left, Rashford up top. I think we could play Rashford on the left, Martial up top. We could even play Elanga through the middle as well. So maybe you just don't need to bother. I don't feel like we need to play Ronaldo. Essentially, I don't feel like we need to rush him back if he is ill. What are your transfer plans for today? My current plan is to do either Doherty to Trent and then start Trent ahead of Castagna, or to do Alvarez to Jesus. So I'll be bringing in one of Jesus and Trent. Hi Ross, I'm a senior biostatistician. I would like to participate in your study as an analyst if possible. Feel free to drop me an email if you want to get involved, but I don't know if... I'm not leading this project, and I don't know if they're looking for anyone else to bring on. Don't know if you've seen this already, but Luke has posted team news on Twitter. Luke isn't an in the know, just in case you're wondering. Luke's a comedian, and he was given the early team news by Team News and Ticks. He won't get early team news, and if he does, it won't be posted on his page. It'll be posted on Team News and Ticks page. Your questionnaire was so long. It's about half an hour. I apologize for it being long. It's better to be long and get all the information required, though. Why Jesus over Martial? I just think he's more safe for minutes. I don't know that Martial will start. Like I said, it could be Garnacho on the left and Rashford through the middle. It could be Rashford on the left and Ronaldo through the middle. I don't think Martial is dead set to start. And even if Martial does start, you're probably looking at 60 minutes. So that's why I've maybe been put off Martial. But I still think he's a great option. I answered that one, Frosty. Thank you from Giandre. I would just keep Haaland and Alvarez for now. I don't think both will be benched, but I guess there's a small chance. Rodrigo to Foden if we get news that Foden starts. Yeah, if we get news that Foden starts, I'd argue Foden's arguably the best midfielder to own this week. Whether he starts or not, I don't know. I'm predicting that Foden does start, but what time are we getting a league lineup? I don't even know if we are yet. I haven't seen any confirmation that we are. He hasn't tweeted anything. Shall I tweet him? I could tweet him quickly. Oh, why is that not showing up? 2 seconds. Right. Good morning. Doesn't look like we're getting this news. Harry's just said. Why Harry? Harry's not even going to be watching. Harry's doing his own stream. But go like this tweet. Go like this tweet so that it pops up in his notifications. 1 sec. Go like and retweet that so that it pops up and it will see it. And whilst you're there, follow me on Twitter as well. We're almost at 80,000 followers on Twitter. So follow me on Twitter. Before Twitter all just goes down the pot and we don't even use Twitter anymore because of Elon Musk. But there we go. Is Rashford nailed? He's as nailed as you could be, to be honest. He's as nailed as you probably could be. But again, he might get a bit of a rest before the World Cup. Andreas or Wilson? I'd start Wilson and maybe then Andreas if not. Foden and Wilson to Darwin and Rashford, or Foden and Wilson to Darwin and Rashford, or Mitrovic and Andreas to Martial and Garnacho. I think I prefer Mitrovic and Andreas to Martial and Garnacho, but there's a strong chance that one of them don't start. I don't think both Garnacho and Martial start. I think if Martial starts, it'll be Rashford on the left. I think if Garnacho starts, it'll be Rashford through the middle. So I don't think both Martial and Garnacho start personally. Where's the tweet? That's the tweet that you're seeing on your screen. I'll just put it back in the chat again. And that's my Twitter, if you want to follow. Right, has he replied? That made me laugh. All right, I don't think we've got anything yet. Martial not pictured at the hotel, apparently. I don't know where this has come from, but this would be interesting. Maybe hold off on the Martial transfer for 2 seconds. This is the thing. There's just so many people just make random claims on Twitter that you just never know who to trust and what to trust. If he could please just, just respond. Is Trossard out? I'm hearing conflicting reports. I haven't seen anything on Trossard. Come on, pull through for us. Pull through for us. If he doesn't tweet anything in the next 10, 15 minutes, then I'm just not going to wait. I'm not going to bother. Imagine if he just sleeps in and just oh, sorry, forgot to set my alarm. The whole FPL community like panicking. That'd be funny. Has FPL Boona got Twitter Blue? That would be funny. He has, but your issue is once you're verified, you can't change your name or your handle. You might be able to change it. I don't think you can change either. So once he's verified, if he gets Twitter Blue, there's no way for him to change between journeys. So he'll have to stick as one, and then he'll get done for impersonation. So I don't actually think being verified would help Booner at all, unfortunately for him. Apparently Martial is not in the hotel picture. I've seen a few people saying that now. I don't know where that's come from. If you don't get any news, who's going to be your captain? I'll captain Salah if we don't get any news. I'll captain Salah. Does a rolled free transfer this week mean 2 free transfers the week after Game Week 17? It only means that if you don't make any transfers during the international break or during the World Cup, but you will, right? You've got unlimited transfers. So unless you plan on making no transfers, then yeah. I don't know where this Martial stuff's coming from, to be honest. Can everyone stop? Legit Reddit in the know says Haaland starts. Maybe. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, you're not gonna be able to see that, are you? Apparently, there's someone from Reddit says that he starts. I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. But there's too many things to read on there. I'm just going to leave it for now. Let's just hope we get something, right? I'll go back to that. I'll go back to that in a second, see if we get anything from Mr. T News and Ticks. What are your current plans, by the way, chat? Let me know what you're currently planning with your transfers. I'm interested to see what the general consensus is. Let me know in the chat what your current planned transfers are. Too likely to score the highest, Almiron, Solanke, Zaha. I think I'll just back the 2 penalty takers with the better fixtures. So I would probably bench Almiron and go for Solanke and Zaha. But Almiron is in a purple patch right now. And he seems to be scoring goals for fun. So maybe you back Almiron to do well. Got another gifted membership from Mr. Chisel Planet. Who got it this time? Bergoven. You have just been gifted a Raptor 1 membership by Chisel Planet. And thank you very much, my man. I appreciate you. Surely Salah is the better captain as he's guaranteed 90, whereas Haaland may only get 70 if City are comfortable. I would prefer Haaland for 70 than Salah for 90. But I obviously would prefer Salah for 90 than I would Haaland for 30 or 20. I think my cutoff is if Haaland gets sort of 65, 70 minutes, I prefer him to Salah. If he gets anything less than 60, I would probably back Salah to outscore him. But Haaland's just so good. Like, he only needs a half of football, doesn't he? I don't know. I like the Grealish move, Frosty. I like the Grealish move if he starts. But I've seen a few people predicting that Foden starts on the left and Mahrez, Alvarez, or Bernardo Silva on the right. So I've seen a few people predicting Grealish doesn't start. Would be my only concern. He's just tweeted. Okay, here we go. Here we go. (10:45) UK time. That's not going to go well, right? So that's 15 minutes before. I don't know if I want to wait for that. The thing is, 20 minutes was still pushing it. Like the site was down for the full 20. I was hoping he'd do sort of 25 to half an hour. 15 minutes is pushing it big time. It's pushing it big time. I don't know. What are we thinking? Are we going to wait? Are we going to wait? Yeah, I feel like he genuinely does enjoy the site crashing. The thing is, I'm not waiting on Haaland news specifically, right? My transfers aren't impacted by Haaland. My transfers are based around Alvarez. Is he going to give us Alvarez news? I don't think he'll give us anything on Alvarez. I think he'll give us something on... He's given us something on Haaland and Foden recently, hasn't he? Seems silly to wait when captaincy options like Salah and Kane exist this week. That's what I'm saying. So maybe I just captain Salah for now. When we get the early team news, maybe I'll make the Haaland decision, but I might just move for Trent now and just keep Alvarez regardless. What do we think about that, chat? Maybe I just move for Trent now. Bring in Trent. And if Alvarez is benched, he's benched. And it means that I miss out on Jesus, but is Foden worth captaining this week? He seems set to start after missing midweek. I feel like I need to utilise his place in my team after these recent plethora of ones. I think Foden will start, but we're going to get team news at 10:45 if you want to wait, which is in 15 minutes. Right, my advice would be, guys, don't send super chats anymore. Because it's going to start, in the next sort of 10 minutes, it's going to start getting really hectic. I'm not going to be able to respond to everyone's super chat, so I don't want you to do that. Anantha has become a Tier 2 member. Thank you very much, Anantha. I appreciate you. And Alan has said, thanks for the content and constant positive vibes. Ross, you're more than welcome, Alan. Pope to Ramsdale or Mitrovic to someone as a first sub. I would go Mitrovic to someone as a first sub, but I mean, I'd go Mitrovic to someone and start that person. Probably makes more sense for me because there are some really good strikers that you could start instead of Mitrovic. JML says, I've Cancelo, Perisic and Gabriel starting and Trippier bench. Do you think I should start Trips or not? I would start Trippier, yeah. I would start Trippier ahead of Gabriel probably, if it was me. I don't know. I genuinely don't. Looking sharp today, Ross. New hat? Thank you. No, it's not a new hat, but thank you for saying I look sharp. If you have the funds to go Mitrovic to Jesus, do you pull the trigger or is a Martial punt worth it? I think I prefer Jesus personally, but a Martial punt could be exciting, and I don't think it's a bad move at all. It's definitely not a bad move. 13 minutes. Like I said, if you're planning on making a transfer and you're not planning on waiting for early team news, I would get that locked in now because the site's probably going to crash in 13 minutes. Would be my advice. Not enough people are talking about Darwin. I've literally spoken about Darwin all week non-stop. It's been genuinely non-stop, so... Will, hey Ross, love finishing work in time to see the stream. Good to see you, my man. Thank you for being here. Team News and Ticks is just pissing me off at the moment. He's very helpful, obviously, but he's playing with us. He thinks it's hilarious to play with us, which is just a bit crap. But when we're relying on him, he's the only one that's getting us early team news, then he can do what he wants. He can do what he wants, to be honest. Just watching this stream whilst on the treadmill. Good man, getting your exercise in. Again, or woman. I should stop saying good man when I don't know. Hope there's no big news. I hope so too. I hope we don't get any news. At the moment, it would cause chaos. I better get my phone ready to use the app. So in case you're wondering, when the site crashed last week, the app was... It was still an issue. There were still errors coming up and stuff, but the app was a little bit more successful. So maybe just get ready to use the app. Are you keeping Haaland even if he's benched? If Haaland's benched, I will keep him. I'll just move my Vice armband to someone else probably. I might not even do that. I'll just keep it as is. If Haaland's benched, I'll keep it as is. I reckon Haaland will start. My prediction is Haaland and Foden both start. And Alvarez will be benched. That's my prediction. But we'll see. That's just a prediction. Think I have to do Welbeck to Firmino before the site crashes. Very underwhelming. It is, but we can celebrate Firmino's hat-trick together. Will Firmino start? I think Firmino will start. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't when he's not going to the World Cup, but let's see. Is there any news? No, we get team news in 11 minutes. 11 minutes we're going to get team news. I'm just hoping it's not a video. I'm hoping it's not some sort of stupid... Like, I understand like the banter element of it, but I'm just hoping it's going to be just a quick, simple message which says this person starts, this person doesn't, sort of thing. By the way, whilst we're waiting, do follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to hit 5,000 Instagram followers. There are how many people are there in here? I didn't even realize. There are 5,000 people here. Please give me a follow on Instagram. I'm trying to hit 5,000 followers. I'm like only like 800 off. All I need is, if 5,000 of you follow me, then I hit 10,000. Please do drop me a follow on Instagram though, for some more like personal content and stuff. I would appreciate it. But that we're over on Instagram at the moment. Let me see if I can get his Instagram. 2 seconds. This is the guy's... Wait, is that going to work? Why does it come out like that link? Okay, that does work. Right, this is the link for the guy's Instagram that's going to get early team news. That link that I just sent there, he leaked lineups. You have to drop him a follow, though, because he's private. So you have to follow him, and then he has to accept it, which he might not today. But that is his Instagram account. Keep or sell Foden? I'd keep him. But again, if you don't want to risk it, sell him. But we'll see. Do you think Zinchenko is a good transfer? Yeah, I like Zinchenko as a transfer in, for sure. For sure. Thank you to everyone that's following me on Instagram. I do appreciate it. Hello, Raptor. Who's the best replacement for DCL under 8.5? Probably Jesus, followed by Firmino, I would guess. Mitrovic to Darwin or Jesus? I would go Darwin if you can afford him, personally. Only just joined, but is Wilson starting? It's a good question. I don't know the answer. He's been training away from the squad for the entire week. I would lean towards yes, but I don't know that. Gaeta or Ward? I'd probably lean Gaeta. Do you think Wilson will start? I know there's so many questions around Wilson. I don't know. I think if you can sell him for one of Jesus or Darwin, I would do it. I think if you can't afford one of those and it's going to be someone like Martial or Solanke, I would maybe just keep Wilson and hope that he starts. We need Martial news. I don't think we're going to get Martial news because Manchester United are the last game. We don't play until Sunday, sort of afternoon, evening. Are you captaining Salah? I'm captaining Salah, and unless we get team news that Haaland starts, then I'll try and switch the armband. The app is already lagging. Is it actually? Jesus. It's not going to go well, is it? The site's not crashed yet, but obviously we're 7 minutes away from team news, but we'll see. I don't think this is going to go well. I might make my transfer now. I don't know if who would you put first sub, chat? Let me know. Just put their name. Would you put Gahey first sub or Andreas first sub? Gahey or Andreas? Andreas. Okay, do you know what? I'll trust you guys. Everyone. I suppose the thing is, Andreas is going to be highly owned as well, isn't he? So I'll maybe make that switch. I might just bring in Trent. I think I want Trent anyway, but it does mean that I have Alvarez starting, obviously. Which maybe isn't an issue. He's probably going to come off the bench. And if he doesn't, then I have Andreas coming off the bench. So I suppose it's not a massive issue. Buy Rashford or Foden once team news is out. If Foden starts, I prefer Foden. Five minutes until we get news and probably 5 minutes until the site crashes. Van Dijk or Perisic. I prefer Perisic. Webster or Gahey. I'd maybe lean Webster just for the home fixture. Sorry, but what's the link to the lineups guy? It's this one here. This is his Instagram, but it's private, so you're probably too late now to get accepted to see his story and stuff. So I'm gonna get up on my phone and I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Castagna or Perisic, I would go Perisic. I've told people to stop doing super chats, by the way. I'm not going to get to answer them because it's going to be absolute chaos. So please don't blame me if I miss that. I've said I would probably stop. You've been saying you'd want Darwin as his stats are crazy, but then you say Jesus isn't far behind, but then you prefer to bring in Trent. It makes no sense. Yeah, so Darwin's got a much better fixture. It's at home. His stats are quite a bit better. He's at like 1.4 XGI. Jesus is around 1. And I've already got double Arsenal attack in a game that I don't think there'll be that many goals. I think Trent and Jesus are very, very close, but I do think Darwin is a better option than Jesus. Mainly due to the home fixture. Don't know what all the fuss is about. Ben Mee will have Haaland in his back pocket. Probably. Hello, who would you bench of the three? Firmino, Dyer, Zaha, Bowen. I'd bench Dyer, probably, of those. We love you, Raptor. I love you too. Thank you for the love. Andy just pulled the trigger, scared of a crash. Yeah, it's probably going to happen. I'll probably regret not moving if I don't, but... I'm probably going to wait. If Alvarez is benched, I'll go Jesus. If Alvarez isn't benched, I'll go... I don't know. That sounds like a bad idea, waiting for this to crash. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. I'm going to make it now. I'm going to make my move now. Probably going to regret doing that, but I'm going to make my move now. I want Trent, I think, anyway. And I think Jesus is a great option. If Jesus does well, I'll probably regret it. But you win some, you lose some, don't you? So there we go. Has anyone got any reasons why I shouldn't make this move? Speak now or forever hold your peace. I don't know what to do. The chaos, the panic, everything's going terribly. Should I just wait? I could just wait and experience the server crash with you and it would be a bit of fun. That could be fun. Shall I wait? The drama, the tension. It's like watching a thriller. Just hit the damn button. I've got 1 minute to decide before the site crashes. Do you know what? I'm going to leave that there. Ready to hit confirm transfer. And I'll see what what T News and Tick says. Right. I'm gonna get the news up on my phone, so I'll just show you what he says. That way. Don't press free hit. Yeah, I need to make sure I don't press free hit. Good point. this is so tense. I'm just refreshing the Instagram page. Edison starts. Amazing. Great news. Right, it's 10:45. Let's see how on time he is. He was like 3 minutes late last week, which wouldn't be good this week. Oh, it's another video. It's just another video.
Yo, I go by the name of Ronnie Winters. You can catch me on Instagram. I've got some new music coming. So Ronnie Winters Music. Yeah. I've got the starting 11 for you, but unfortunately today I ain't starting. But listen, follow leaked lineups to get everything first. Right? I don't know when I'm not starting.
I can't be bothered with these stupid videos every week, to be honest.
Hello, I'm Luke Chaddy. Today, I'm not starting.
Hi, I'm Jack Stein.
It's a weird, stupid video. I don't know why. I'm waiting.
I'm Jake Sims. I'm not starting today.
Hi, this is Jugger, and I won't be starting.
I'm Carlos Buffett. I'm not starting.
Hi, I'm Daniel Neverev, and I'm not starting.
Hello, I'm Erling Haaland with a dodgy Cockney accent for some reason, and I can tell you, I am starting. I asked my mate Phil to come and do this, but I can't find him. But he's starting as well.
Right, Haaland and Foden start. So that means Alvarez probably isn't starting. Right, I might make the Jesus move them. This is the thing. I don't know if Alvarez starts, which poses an issue for me. Oh, my cam's going at the same time. Oh, it's all chaos everywhere. Right, I'm still here. So the news, if you are wondering, Foden and Haaland start according to Team News and Ticks. So Foden and Haaland start. I'm gonna go Alvarez to Jesus. I think. I don't think Alvarez will start if that's the case. I'm going to quickly switch the armband first, actually. Right. The site's not crashed yet. Right, so I've switched the armband to Haaland. That's the first thing. I think I'm going to go Alvarez to Jesus. I think that's the sensible move because we don't think Alvarez will start. He didn't say anything about KDB. Is this going to crash on me? It's going to crash on me, isn't it? It'll be funny. Right, I managed to get that through. Whew. So, Haaland, captain, Jesus came in for Alvarez, and that's me done. Site hasn't crashed yet for me, so I think you've still got a bit of time. Imagine if the site just doesn't crash. Imagine if they've just massively improved the servers and we've all just panicked. Listen, it does mean that I've got triple Arsenal against Wolves, so I'm really banking on Arsenal battering Wolves here. I just think that makes sense. If Alvarez starts, I'm going to massively regret that. We'll just have to wait and see. I had a feeling he wouldn't give us anything on Alvarez. I don't know why he keeps giving us stuff on Foden and not Alvarez and KDB. But there we go. Why are people saying KDB's benched? I don't know. I haven't seen anything. The thing is, if Alvarez starts, then KDB probably would be benched. But Yeah. Oh, it looks like I've copied. I did not see that. Andy's made exactly the same move as me. Let me show you that. Andy's made exactly the same move as I have. Where is his name? There you go. Confirmation bias. We've both done the same thing. So there we are. Check your WhatsApp. Why? Oh, Oscar's messaged me. I have no idea. God, what a disaster that is. I don't know any of the only City players that he had was Haaland and Foden. Listen, I don't want to be that guy that, like, he's obviously getting us the early team news, but it's not funny. Like, I don't think anyone sits there and cracks up at these videos. They're a bit annoying. Like, we want the team news pretty quickly. Like, I don't think anyone's sitting there thinking that's a hilarious video, but there we are. There we are. Doherty to Perisic for a hit or play Gahey? I would play Gahey. I still don't know if I want to start Castagna. I'm not overly confident that Castagna gets a clean sheet. If you're just joining, the news is that Haaland and Foden start. That's it. We don't know in and around that whether Alvarez starts, whether KDB starts, stuff like that. People are putting, apparently there's a leaked lineup going around that, and it looks relatively accurate that KDB starts, but we haven't had any official news on KDB. It's just a bit of fun, to be honest. And I understand that. And again, I don't want to be that guy that doesn't understand the fun. It's just, I don't think they're particularly funny. If he was doing it like an hour before the deadline, it's pretty funny, then you can watch it through. But for everyone else that, like, especially for me, like, it doesn't stress me out, but I'm trying to help you guys as quickly as possible. When I've got 6,000 people watching me, I want to try and get you the team news as quickly as possible, and I have to sit there and watch a minute-long video, but there we go. Would you start Andreas or Alvarez given the team news? Probably Andreas. It sounds like Alvarez isn't starting. Calvert to Jesus for a hit. Otherwise, Anderson would play. I'd probably just play Anderson. I'm not a big fan of taking hits for 1 week, to be honest. Does Martial start? I would think he'd start, but there's loads of rumours going around that he's not at the hotel with the team. There's loads of people saying that Martial hasn't been pictured with the team, so I don't know. It's enough to have put me off. And also, I just think Jesus is a good option, but there we go. I think people are missing the point, but that's fine. I'm definitely not. I'm not moaning. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just explaining that I don't get the advantage of doing that, but that's fine. If people think I'm missing the point, then that's good. I just wanted to make sure, I was just checking on my phone that my captaincy switched. So I'm captain Haaland because he starts, and I brought in Jesus. If you're wondering, if you've just joined, that's what I've done. I'll get a screenshot of my team quickly to tweet it in a bit. That's a shame. I did want Alvarez to start, but yeah, didn't end up happening that way. The server's down. Is it? Is the server down? I don't want to refresh just in case. Is KDB starting? We didn't get official news on KDB. Everyone's asking. I have no idea. I have no idea if KDB's starting or not. But we think so. We would assume so. Unless it's Alvarez and Haaland starting together. We've ended up on very similar team. How boring. Yeah. My team's looking a little bit template. It's also looking very red. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying that Martial's not at the hotel. I can't confirm that, but there's a lot of people saying that. The site has crashed, has it? I think I got my moves through in time. Site has crashed, everyone's saying. Let's have a look on my phone. No, the site hasn't crashed. Well, it's not on my phone anyway. Like, I can still do everything on my phone. Try the app. If the site isn't working, try the app. Mitrovic and Foden out for Darwin and Gross for free. No, I wouldn't take Foden or Zaha out now because we know Foden's starting. I think Foden's going to absolutely pop off this week. I'm extremely jealous of anyone that owns Foden. Yeah, site seems to be up for most people. So this either means two things. Number one, people haven't bothered waiting for the deadline as much because of the risk of crashing, or FPL have actually improved their servers. Wilson to Jesus for a hit. I'm not sure I like that. 100% with you on the leaks, Ross. Those videos annoy the hell out of me. Just give us the info. Again, I know it's very like demanding and first world problems, but yeah, I would prefer if you just tweeted the info or just gave us the info. I got Foden. Nice. I think Foden is... If I could get to Foden, I would have done that. But it would have obviously taken a -4 for me. So I'm not going to do it. I like Chaos. The videos amuse me. Yeah, a lot of people do. It's cheating. It's definitely not cheating. Whether it crosses your moral line or not, that's up to you. Martial news, I don't know. Again, loads of people are saying that Martial's not been pictured at the hotel with Manchester United. I cannot confirm whether that's true or not. But there seems to be quite a few rumours. Why Castagna and not Gahey? I just think Castagna's got slightly better attacking threat. I think both teams have a good chance of conceding. Castagna's got a goal in him soon, and I want to be there for when it happens. I'm amazed that Braithwaite got roped into that video. I didn't even look. I was just listening. I didn't look at who all the people were in the video. I'll watch it back later, and I'm sure it'll be funny. The United game isn't until tomorrow, though. Yep, I know, Jamie, but they still would have probably travelled yesterday night. The boys at Fantasy Football Scout don't think the leaked lineups are good. To be fair, if they got rid of them, I wouldn't have an issue with it. But the fact that they are there, I'm absolutely going to use them. There's no way that I don't use them. If I have access to them, of course I'm going to use them to my advantage. But yeah, I agree. It probably isn't a good thing to have them. Is Foden playing? Yeah, Foden starts. Captain Foden or Kane? I'd captain Foden, probably. I think Foden will do very well if you own him. Gaeta or Ward? I'd probably start Gaeta, just about. But again, like I said, with the Castagna-Gahey debate, I think both will concede. So... You've got 4 minutes till the deadline, probably 3 minutes by the time my voice gets to you. So 3 minutes, lock in those teams as soon as possible. Make sure you check it on like 2 devices just in case it didn't go through properly. But I think by the looks of it, the server has survived fairly well. And if you're wondering, I've got the armband back on Haaland and I've transferred Alvarez to Jesus as my transfer. Oscar is going for Martial. Good luck to Oscar then. Hopefully he has travelled. Trent or Castagna? Definitely Trent. Captain Foden or Haaland? I prefer Haaland, of course, if he starts. Any news on Callum Wilson? No new news. He hasn't trained throughout the week with the team, but he has been in training. He's been sort of isolating. I don't know if he'll be fit or not. A lot of people put in the same City 11 in the chat. It looks like De Bruyne is starting if that is the City 11, and it looks like Alvarez isn't. So if that is the case, I'm happy with my transfer. KDB starts from City Extra. Let me check quickly. Right, KDB starts. KDB starts, if that helps you, anyone at all. Let me get that up quickly. Chaos. Focus. City Extra. Quick. Kevin De Bruyne starts for Man City. So you're good. You're good. Where am I? So I would say there's very, very little chance Alvarez starts now, unless Alvarez is starting on the right. But I'm pretty happy I took Alvarez out if KDB starts as well. Ward or Pope? Probably just about Pope, unless you've got Trippier, then I might go for Ward just to spread the risk. Captain Salah or De Bruyne? I prefer Salah just about. Right, you've got less than a minute. Stop asking questions and just get your team locked in. Andreas or Webster, I'd go Andreas. Start Alvarez or Andreas. I'd probably still start Andreas. Get those teams locked in. KDB starts, Foden starts, Haaland starts. That's the only three that we've had definite information on. Haaland, Foden, and KDB all start. In amongst the chaos, Chisel Planet is gifted another Raptor 1 membership. Thank you so much. Benji has got that membership. Got less than 30 seconds until the deadline. Bench boost. I would not bench boost this week, no. Everyone panic. Chaos. Foden or Wilson? Definitely Foden. Salah or Darwin? Salah. Jesus or Firmino? Jesus. Right, that's going to be that by the time you hear me. I reckon we'll be locked. That wasn't as chaotic as I thought it would be. That wasn't as chaotic as I thought it would be because the servers seem to survive, at least for me and for other people. I think they survived all right. So we brought in Jesus and we captained Haaland. I do think Trent will do well this week, and I'm going to be gutted if Trent does really well. If Trent gets attacking a return and a clean sheet, I'm going to be gutted. But I do think Jesus was maybe the smarter play. Just wanted to say, Ross, we all love that underdog story, and FPL Raptor is that underdog in this vast FPL community. Love it. Love it. Have you used any chips yet? I've only used my wild card. Jesus Christ, Frosty coming through with a massive donation, £50 donation. Thank you so much. It says World Cup Beer Fund. Do you know what? I'm going to go out right now and buy all of that alcohol for the World Cup. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Truly, that's a ridiculous donation. Thank you, Frosty and Chisel Planet, absolutely pulling through with all of the support. Ross, what do you normally do for a living? I am a lecturer in sports psychology, and I'm doing a PhD as well. Right. So this is the part of the stream now. This is the best part where we just kick back and answer your questions. So don't leave. I think this is quite an enjoyable part of the stream. People tend to enjoy it. If you are going to leave and you're not interested, please do subscribe on the way out. Please do drop a like on the stream as well. And thank you for being here. But most of you, I hope, will stick around and ask me any questions that you want. I would say that no questions are off limit as long as they're not rude towards me or anyone else. And as long as they're not overly personal. But other than that, any questions you want. And if I don't want to answer the question, I'll just ignore it. But feel free. As long as, again, please don't be rude. Please no swearing. And other than that, you can ask any questions you want. Thank you so much, Frosty. Genuinely, that's absolutely ridiculous, my man. Thank you. Abdullah just says, love you, bro. I love you too, bro. Thank you for the super chat. You are very much appreciated. Oh, what a manic deadline. It was still pretty chaotic, but I thought it was going to be worse, to be honest. I thought I was going to get locked out of being able to make my moves, but that wasn't the case. I should actually quickly tweet my team, shouldn't I? 2 seconds. I'm still here, but I'm just going to tweet my team. Game week 16 team lock. I should have got this tweet ready, surely, shouldn't I? Sorry, yeah, get your questions in. I'll go through the chat in a second and answer those questions in a second. Love the content, Ross. Can we see a picture of younger Raptor with hair? Yeah, 2 seconds. I'll get a picture up on my phone. What was my transfer? It was Alvarez to Jesus, wasn't it? I'm pretty happy with my team. I think my team looks fine. I do want Trent, but at the end of the day, you can't have everyone, can you? Right, let me just grab that tweet. I want you to boost my ego by liking my tweet. Everyone boost my ego. 1 sec. Where am I? Here. Like and subscribe. Like my tweet. Follow me on Twitter. Right. What was the question? Oh, someone wanted to see me with hair. Let me see if I got a picture on my phone of me with hair. I'll be honest, I've never had much hair. It's always been fairly thin. His head is big enough. Don't do it, chat. No, do it. Love me. Love me. Show me love and affection. Where's my... I really hate Facebook. I'm not very good with Facebook. Sorry, I will answer the questions in a second. Raptor with hair. Oh, God. I hated my hair. Right, here's a picture of me back in the day. When was this? 2014. Oh, no, it's such a horrible picture. I can't show you that. I hated my hair. So you can see, this was, when was this? This was 2017. I'm already receding. Where's my OBS? Can you see that? Oh, the green screen's gonna really mess it up. I don't know why it's that color. It's the green screen. That was like, and then, like you can see, there's not much hair there to start with. It's just a little bit of a fluffy tuft up top. So basically, I'm better without hair, I think, is the moral of the story. Look at this. Jesus, this was when I had an earring and spiked up hair. Oh, wait, what am I doing? That was a horrendous haircut. This is because I lived in Essex, right? This is what happens to you. You get an earring, you have like a slicked across with the spiky. Oh, this was me back in the day. And yes, I did play for Spurs, and yes, I mention it a lot, but who cares? This was me. What else can I show you? There's another one of me. This was at a tournament in Spain. Wrapped with hair. It's not pretty, is it? God, I look horrific with hair. I'm glad I shaved my hair. Shaved my head, I should say. You looked better then. Thanks. Why? Thank you. That's really not very nice. What's been said? You were once a chav, Ross. I guess I was a chav. I just lived in Essex. I think anyone that lives in Essex is a chav. How's the fitness going? The fitness is going well. Should I show you a picture? Should I show you what everyone's wanted for a while? Not everyone. I say everyone. It's like literally like 3 or 4 people. There you go. It's going well. We've got some progress pictures here. I'm not going to show you for very long, and I'm not going to bring it up on the screen and big. But going well. The fitness it's progressing. Let's just say that. I think I'm rocking the bald look as well. Thanks. I prefer. People want me to take my hat off. There you go. There you go. The bald head's out. I don't really want my bald head out today. I'm not feeling the bald head. Oh my! All right. I did not time me showing topless pictures of myself to when Yelena entered the chat. By the way, that was atrocious timing. Ignore that. That was terrible timing. Your Photoshop skills are really improving, Ross. Can barely see the join between the head and the body. Yeah. Put it away. X-rated. Listen, everyone's been asking to see me topless for a while, so there we go. Everyone who lived in Essex was a chav. 606, and I'm already deeply offended. You are a massive chav, Yelena, anyway. Might as well start the OnlyFans at this point. Shall I just do it? Why not? Looking massive, mate. Thank you. What can you bench? My bench press is really not very impressive. I think it's 95 kilos. I don't know what that is in pounds. Let me tell you in pounds. I haven't hit 100 kilos yet. I'm really light though. I'm a tiny little boy. I only weigh 75 kilos. It's 209 pounds. 95 kilos is my bench press. Do you have a strict diet? No, I basically eat whatever I want. Good God. I'm not flirting on stream. Go away. Are you working on the bunda? Always working on the bunda. Absolutely. Ross, are we still getting married? What, me and you, Josh? Absolutely. Absolutely. As long as you treat me well. How tall are you, Raptor? I am as tall as a garage. No, I am... Sorry, personal joke. I am 5'9/10. I'm in between 5'9" and 5'10". Let's say 5'10". Do you know what? Let's just round it up to 6 foot. I'm 6 foot. No, I'm not very tall, unfortunately. Looks like a stud either way. You look like a stud either way. Thank you. Loving the content, Raptor. It's been a fun season so far. Looking forward to a cheeky break. All the best for Game Week 16. Thank you for the super chat. And yeah, I'm maybe looking forward to a bit of a break as well. I think I agree with that. Wait, you're marrying Mrs. FPLB? Yes, I am. I feel like I've agreed to marry far too many people. I'll just anyone that will take me. I'm not fussy. Anyone that wants to marry me, I'll accept it. Ugh. Yeah, bye. I'm done. 15 comments and not once read or answered. I'm sorry, Darren. I'm sorry for ignoring you. I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'll treat you well, Father Raptor. Then that's all I want from you, Josh. That's all I want. Games like that and Mrs. Raptor will be here in no time. The thing is, Mrs. Raptor won't be tuning in to an FPL stream at 11 a.m. anyway. So I love this after FPL chat. It's like being down the pub. It's my favourite part of the deadline stream as well. Do you do FPL live on PC or do they have an app? Do you mean livefpl.net, the website? They don't have an app, but you can do it on your phone, but they don't have an app. Question, as a sports psychologist, do you think people have the same or different FPL personality from their normal life? It depends on the person. Like some people will put on an act and a show. Some people will be very different on camera to the way they are in person. There are people in here that have met me in real life. If you've met me in real life, feel free to comment if I'm different in person than I'm on camera. I think the only difference between your FPL personality and your normal life is that, especially on YouTube, maybe you're a little bit more... Like there's more, you put on more of a show, I guess, on YouTube. I would never talk to a person like this and be bouncing about. I'm a little bit more like toned down in person. But yeah, I guess it depends who. There are probably some people that fake it completely on camera. And I'm not going to give names. Yelena, how tall is he actually? Feel free to answer that in the chat if you're still here. And please don't lie. Where's the bottom half of the photo? Do you skip leg day? I was in joggers and I couldn't get the phone any further away from me. Have I got a picture of my legs? My legs aren't particularly muscly anyway. I've got pretty skinny legs, unfortunately, which isn't great. Ross, can we get some Tinder/relationship updates? There's nothing to update you on, really, unfortunately. I've just still got so many girls DMing me, just desperate to be with me, that just trying to fight them all off, basically. No, basically there's nothing. There's nothing because I play FPL, and when you play FPL, no one's interested. I'm gonna pretend it's to do with the fact that I play FPL and not the fact that I'm weird and unattractive. Let's go with it's because I play FPL. How old are you, Ross? I'm 25. I am 26 in March. So yeah. What was your first car? It was a Citroen C1, and I named him Wilson. After, you know, like Wilson from Castaway. That was my first car. It was a Citroen C1. Good morning, Mr. Raptor, you fine specimen. Good morning, Liam. Any plans for Christmas this year? Not really. Going home for Christmas. I think I might be living with Nana Raptor over the Christmas break, or at least setting up my equipment in her house, which would be fun. So we might be able to get Nana Raptor on a stream. Show any girl your FPL rank and she'll be yours. Damn right. Damn right. Are you a coffee or a tea man? Coffee? Coffee, probably. Let's see the bicep Raptor. I've just shown you pictures of me topless. I'm not going to get my top off here. Here we go. Ross's FPL personality is very calm, whereas Ross in prep panics and falls over. I did get a little bit panicked in prep. I'm not afraid to admit that. That would be a ridiculous thing to do in person. What would be? I'm so behind on the chat, I never know what you guys are referring to. Do you invest in crypto? No, I don't invest in crypto. I'm very boringly invest in index funds, namely the S&P 500, which I'm not going to get into now because I don't think people are interested in investing. But no, I don't invest in crypto. But now, if you do want to invest in crypto, this is not financial advice. Now probably looks like one of the best times to do so. I think we've probably hit the floor for crypto. So it's either just going to dissipate into oblivion or it's probably going to increase in the future. So I think if you've not yet, now doesn't look like a terrible time, but I don't know enough, to be honest. They had to make Ross bald so that the rest of us had a chance. Are you saying if I had luscious locks, then I would have all of the ladies? There's a brilliant... Someone made it. I think it was Hindu Monkey. Let me find it. It's hilarious. Where is my... What am I doing? I've lost the plot, honestly. Here. What do we think of that? Do I look pretty? Do I look pretty with hair? Oh, I shouldn't have made you a mod, Yelena. I shouldn't have made you a mod. Raptor, in my opinion, you're the deadline daddy. Oh, I like that. Deadline daddy. Women still don't care about being ranked 908th in the world. You believe it or not, it's not helped. It's not helped. Maybe they think I'm big-headed. Heard it through a grapevine that Ross is 5'2". I'm not 5'2". Ross is the size of a detached garage. Yes. Ross, you are a superb person, very desirable, nothing to do with your FPL rank. And I love you, Marcus. Thank you for that. Where did you get the idea for your username? I'm a Toronto Raptors fan, so that's why. Take the top off. The top's not coming off. The top is not coming off. I'm not spending Christmas. I will cook for homeless people and people that have nowhere to spend Christmas. I like that more than spending Christmas myself. You are an incredibly kind person, and we could do with more people like you in the world, Zodiac. That's very, very nice. So good job for doing that. What's the furthest you have ever travelled and would like to travel? I haven't really travelled anywhere massively. Probably Egypt would be the furthest I've gone, but I've never been to the US. I've not been to Australia or like New Zealand. So, oh, my camera's gone. Always fun. I think I'd like to go to New Zealand, but I'd also like to go to the US as well. So they're probably the two that are next on my list. Tonight is the last night for price rises, correct? Yes, that is correct. Are you and Yelena a thing? No. What's your training split, Raptor? My training split is PPL, push-pull legs. By the way, my face will come back in 2 seconds. I've just got to reset. Raptor had hair under his hat. I don't have hair under my hat, I can confirm. Essex is pretty exotic. Essex is the opposite of exotic. How often do you go to Manchester United games? I used to go like 5 or 6 times a season, but I haven't been to one for a while now. Frustratingly, I bought tickets to the Leeds Man United game that was cancelled. So that was a bit annoying. I'm back. Can you put Cap in front? Want to see the look. There we go. Does that make you happy? I don't. The thing is, the lights. I have to lift my face up so that you can see it because the light. Do you use your FPL knowledge to make money from betting? No, I don't. I don't gamble really. I don't gamble at all. Have you been to Asia, Ross? I've not. What did you think of Egypt while you were here? I actually really enjoyed it. I went to Sharm el Sheikh, so it was good. But that was like 10 years ago now. Spent a month in New Zealand bungee jumping in Queenstown, the highlight. Would you fancy a bungee jump? I would definitely do a bungee jump. Absolutely. Absolutely. What's your safe word? Wildcard. I don't know what a safe word is. I haven't got one. Raptor, let's play rock, paper, scissors. If I win, I get your FPL login. If you win, I start Emerson Royale every week. I don't feel like I'm getting a great deal here. I don't feel like I'm getting a great deal. That looks much better. Okay, I'll kick the hat on this way then. I feel like people can't see my face, but... Who built the pyramids? Salah. Just wanted to say... Yeah, I read that one. You should visit Switzerland. Name the capital city from La Suisse when forced pay back double amount. I should know that. Capital city of Switzerland. Oh, God. I'm going to wait for someone in the chat to say it, and then I'll just copy. Sideways hat might be the move. What team do you support, Ross? I support Manchester United. God, that is a horrific look. That is never going to happen ever again. With the cap front facing, you look like BTEC Klopp. Thanks. Bern, yes, Bern. Zurich or Bern, because that's what the chat is saying. One of those two is the capital. Yeah, that is the... Give us a baldy prediction. What do you mean a baldy prediction? Harvester tonight, ribs or burger? Oh, ribs sound good. Ribs are a bit messy though, aren't they? Ross, can you tell us what the best live game you have been to is and why? Definitely not Southampton Newcastle. that was a horrific game to watch live. That honestly, the Southampton atmosphere. I didn't want to tweet about it on Twitter because I didn't want to piss anyone off. The atmosphere at Southampton at St Mary's was genuinely the worst atmosphere. Like Sunday league games have better atmosphere. I was sat with Yelena and we were speaking, and it got so bad that I felt like I had to be quiet when I was speaking to her next to me. Like, you know, like when you're in a library and you're speaking too loud and people are like, you're speaking. It felt like that. That's how poor the atmosphere was. So definitely not Southampton. The best game I've been to live. I don't know. I'll have to have a think about that. The thing is, I've been a Man United fan. Most of the games I've been to have been Man United ones. We tended to, in the past, to just win quite comfortably. So there weren't that many exciting games. It was because of Hasenhüttl. Yeah, I understand, but it wasn't even like booing and stuff. It was just dead inside. It was the worst. It was just really, really poor. I'm going to do that so that you can see my face a bit more. Brunette or blonde or red? What, you asking my preference? I don't really mind. I know this is going to sound like a very cliche thing to say, but I don't really care what the person looks like. I'm much more interested in, can they make me laugh, smile, intelligent, stuff like that. If they look good as well, that's obviously a positive. I think you get to a certain point in your life. When I was like 18, it was massively to do with the way people look. But I'm now at a point in my life where I'm much more interested in, do I enjoy someone's company rather than the way they look. Maybe that's just me. Obviously, you need to be slightly attracted to someone. You need to think that they're not bad to look at if you're going to have to look at them for the rest of your life. But I'm not too bothered about other stuff. You've got to see Roma versus Lazio live if you're looking for atmosphere. Yeah, I've heard that's a ridiculous game to go to. I'd like to go to see AC Milan versus Inter Milan as well. We'll see. I'm hoping to get to more games in the 2023. My aim is to go to more live games because I've enjoyed the ones that I've been to this year. Southampton have the worst home support. Our away support is immense, though. Yeah, a lot of teams are like that, to be fair. Trina says, Raptor, I'm a miss who watches your stream every 3 a.m. on a Saturday. Make me your missus. Also impressive rank. Let's go United. Listen, Trina, hit me up. If you want to get married, apparently I've agreed to marry at least 2 or 3 other people. So, yeah, let's do it. Let's get married. But genuinely, thank you for tuning in. At 3 a.m. on a Saturday, that is commitment to the cause. Who would you say is the best FPL content creator? Let us know, chat. Feel free to not say me, by the way. Let me know who do you think the best content creator is in FPL. I will go for Oscar, but I think there are loads of great ones. Leftover chips from the fish and chip shop. Reheat in the oven. Slap them in some buttered bread with some ketchup. Yay or nay? That sounds fine to me. The only issue is chips. Even if you reheat them, they're a bit dry, aren't they? Leftover chips. He was asked on a date by another FPL YouTuber. I've not been asked on a date by another FPL YouTuber. What is my ideal first date? My ideal first date? I don't know. I don't really go on dates. Just something that's fun. I'd probably prefer to do something rather than just be sat there. The thing is, if it's a first date and you're sat there in front of someone and it's a bit awkward, that's not great. Whereas if you're doing an activity, you don't even have to speak to that person. So I would always advise trying to do something fun together. Sending a donation, being a former C1 owner. I've owned one since 2005 and it's the favorite car I've had. I can't sell it. I loved my car. The only reason I sold it is because it went to crap and it was like $3,000 to fix it all. And I only bought the car for like $2,500. I was like, I can't afford that. So I was doing my masters at the time. And I just couldn't afford to fix it. So I had to just sell it for scraps. But yeah, I loved it. It was a great car. I think mine was the 2006 plate. So it did its job. It was really good. Right, who's everyone's favourite content creators? Everyone's spamming. Oscar, Andy, The Wire. Yeah, good. FPL Mate. Some good shouts in here. You and Oscar. A lot of people watch myself and Oscar. I don't know if our personalities complement each other well or what, but a lot of people tend to say that their favourites are Oscar and myself. It must be that we've got similar kind of audience. FPL Harry. FPL Harry's fantastic. Where is Mrs. Raptor? I'm afraid there is not a Mrs. Raptor. Not yet, anyway. Andy, Raptor. I'm glad a few people have said me. On mine and Mrs. FPLB's first date, I patted her on their head. Why would you pat her on the head? What, like who's a good girl? Like that, like a dog? That's not good. I'm surprised she didn't smack you. Or was it like more of like a loving pat? It depends what kind of pat we're talking about. I wouldn't advise anyone out there to pat anyone on the head, personally. His ideal first date is a Forest-Liverpool game at the City Ground. That's a good one. I'll give you that one, Frosty. I'll allow that. Have you been to West Ham home games? The bubbles are brilliant and we are massive. I have not. No, but that is maybe something I'd do at some point. Always Cheating. Yeah, Always Cheating is a great podcast. I went on a date on Thursday and it ended extremely well with a winking. All right, Liam. No need to brag. Went on a date and it ended extremely well. Check you out. Check you out. You'll have to teach me the ways. You'll have to teach me the way. I've had no such luck. You, Harry, and Oscar are too good. That is the trio, isn't it? Myself, Harry, and Oscar. Again, we're going to try and get some live stream / vlog from the FCAs next week. We're thinking from the hotel we might do a quick like mini live stream. Just to ask some, just probably like this, just to answer and ask some questions. Would you date a student? I wouldn't date one of my students because that is dodgy, but I'm a student myself, so I would date someone that is a student. Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm a student. I'm a PhD student. But no, I wouldn't be dating my own students. I can confirm because I don't want to get sacked. Do a poll for who has the better hairline, Pep, Zizou, Ten Hag, or you. I'm not winning that poll, so that's not going to happen. Oh, I've just realised I've got a silver badge now. You do, Chris. What is that, 12 months? Or is that 2... What is that? What is the silver badge? 12 months or is it 18 months? I don't know. I don't remember my first date with my wife. I was too drunk. Nice. What did you do your masters in? I did my masters in sport and exercise psychology. How's Nana Raptor? Nana Raptor's doing well. Thank you very much for asking. Yep, she's fine. She's ranked at about 400k. So she's had a decent start to the season. I don't think Nana Raptor's playing World Cup Fantasy, though. She said she's going to have a bit of a break, which I don't blame her for, to be honest. Favorite content creator is Beta Squad. Yeah, Beta Squad are pretty funny. Does anyone else... What other YouTubers do we watch, by the way? Any other YouTubers outside of FPL that you enjoy watching? I took part in your study, Ross, as a sports psych student. I'm excited to read it. Thank you, Daniel. I really appreciate that. I reckon you should ask FPL Focal on a date. I would love to. Me and Oscar would go on a... No, Oscar's got his Mrs. Focal, hasn't he now? Or Miss Focal, I should say. He's not married, but, you know. No pat on the head is sexy or welcome. Yeah. People kept asking me to slap my head as well. After I did it once on a stream as a joke, and I got quite a few requests for that, which is quite strange. She is pissed with me on my birthday eve. I need some psychological help. What, your missus is this? I don't know what to suggest. I would never upset my missus. Not that I have one, but I'm a perfect partner. I would never do such a thing. Lots of questions about who I'm dating. I can categorically confirm I'm dating absolutely no one, and I am very much single. Have you ever dated a fellow lecturer? No, I've not. I've not dated anyone. As I said, I was in a long-term relationship, broke up with that person. I've not dated anyone since. So I am not dating and have not been dating ever, really. And the Tinder update is not much. It's basically... God, there are some great questions that I'd love to answer, but I can't. What is your favourite moment in FPL history? It's a really weird one. I remember it was either game week 5 or 6 last season. No, the season before that, 2 seasons ago. I captained Jack Grealish when he was at Aston Villa. And he got a 30 point, we got 15 points doubled. And all of the other major captains blanked. I don't know why that sticks in my mind. But I captained Grealish for a 30 pointer. And it just felt really good. That's my favourite memory. Again, it's a bit of a random one. Beard Meets Food, Nick Fry, James Lawrence Alcott, Go to Podcast. These are some good shouts. The Critical Drinker. Okay, I'll check them out. Nick Run the Foot Market. Yeah, good FIFA YouTuber. No, Yelena is not Mrs. Raptor, but thank you for the question. You know what PhD stands for, right? Wink. Pretty huge stuff. YouTubers I watch non-FPL are State Azure, Mentor Pilot, and They Got Away with Murder. I do not know any of those, but I'll check them out. To what extent would you say a personal statement matters for university? I have the required grades, but as most of my choices are top unis and the course is maths, I'm concerned they won't give one about it. Yeah, personal statements do matter. The only reason that they are important is it's good to understand someone's personality and also some experience that they've got. But it's not the grades are probably the most important thing to get into bachelors and masters. When you're going for a PhD, grades aren't as important. For a PhD, it's more important how you interview and also the experience that you've got from your masters and bachelors as much as the grades. So I would, if it's a PhD, I'd work on your interview skills. Which is your favourite food? My sister is asking. Roast dinner's got to be the go-to, hasn't it? You deserve someone, Ross. Thank you. I appreciate that. It will happen at some point, I'm sure. Who is the oldest person in this chat? 34 here. Feel free to comment your age if you would like to comment your age. Don't feel obligated to do so. If you want to let us know a bit more. I'm 25 years old. Achio is 34. Milk or water? It's a bit of a random question. I'm going to go water. If you're asking me what I would just like to sit and drink, but yeah. Raptor, do you lecture at UCL? No, I lecture at NTU. Well, I love this question. I don't know if you're still watching, Yelena. How is Yelena feeling when you say you are not dating? Isn't that hurting her feelings? Do you ever think of that? No, I don't think of that at all. I hate her. I don't care what she thinks. What a question. That's cracked me up. Just making me sound like a completely ruthless bastard. I think I annoyed Raptor. I'm sure you didn't. People don't tend to annoy me. Maybe you did. Raptor, would you be up for a double date? Sure thing. Absolutely. Let's do it. Let's do it. If World Cup was decided by every country's manager entering a WWE Royal Rumble match, who would win? This is the real question. That's a great question. I feel like England would be pretty scrappy, wouldn't they? Oh, but it's the manager. Oh, Southgate. Oh, Southgate would... No. Who's a manager that I think would win that? It's a good question. I don't know. Raptor, have you ever been to South Africa? I have not. I will hopefully at some point get to Africa because, to be honest, a lot of the viewers that I on my channel are from Africa, especially South Africa. Nigeria is quite heavy for my channel as well. City team news is out. Of course it is. I'm not even paying attention, is it? Is the team news as we expected? I'm sure it will be. Let me check. 2 seconds, and then I'll bring it. Go back to the question. Oh, that's not... Okay. Cool. So I think it's as expected, right? I don't think we're particularly shocked about that. Sorry, everyone's ages. How old are we all? Let's read out some ages. 97 and counting, I don't believe that. 23, 25, 31, 19, 17, 32, 31, 37, 48. There's a real range, isn't there? 8 years old. I hope no 8-year-olds are watching what I'm talking about right now because it's probably not completely PG. 15, 32 and my hubby's 40. Nice. 13. Are there actually people that are like 13 and 15 in it? You make me feel very old. It also makes me think that I should not mention certain things. I thought you were a vegetarian. I'm a pescatarian, which means I don't eat meat. But I eat fish. I guess fish is meat, but I only eat fish. I don't eat like other meat. Beer, whiskey, or rum. I'm definitely a rum man myself. Spice rum. Kraken is the go-to. Deitch would batter everyone. Deitch would. If Sean Deitch was the England manager, I would back him to I can't even speak. Ross, my girl broke up with me yesterday because I frankly talked about her body parts when she asked. What do you say on this? What do you mean? So she... Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Ross, my girl broke up with me yesterday because I frankly talked about her body parts when she asked. What do you say on this? So are you saying that you essentially... Did you call her fat or something like that? Is that where we're going with this? If that's the case, I think you apologise and you explain why you felt the need to be frank with her. I wouldn't advise... The thing is, you don't want to lie, right? I don't know what advice to give. I don't think you want to lie, but I do think that at the same time you need to sit down and discuss why you said that to her. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. It's not funny. What's your favourite fish? Salmon? Salmon? Let's go salmon. We'll go salmon. I'm 11. At least I now know what PhD stands for. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Ross, have you ever watched Sex and the City? Bit too much city for my liking. I like that. If your Mrs. FPL Raptor plays FPL, would you compete? I'd absolutely compete, for sure. And I'd make sure I beat her as well. You, my boy, will learn to lie. I don't believe in lying to people, but I do think you can beat around the bush a little bit. If someone asks me if they look good and they don't, I tell them they don't look good. I'd rather be honest. Because I think if you're honest with someone about stuff like that, as long as you're not rude, when you tell someone they look good, it means more. If you always just tell them you always look good, then they'll stop believing it. So I think you be as honest as possible. If someone says, is this a good outfit on me? You go, oh, that's not my favourite, but... Get Raptor hitched, hashtag. Absolutely. Never be honest when your girl asks if she looks fat. I'm not saying you should say that she looks fat. What I'm saying is you can... Okay, I'm just going to stop. This is clearly why I'm single. I'm just going to stop. I'm 39, 12 years of happy marriage, learn how to lie. Okay, so apparently we all just lie to our partners. There you go. That's the advice. Wait, Ross, are you doing Fantasy World Cup content? Yeah, I am. I am doing Fantasy World Cup content. There's a little thing called a tactical lie. Yeah, maybe like a little white lie. Ross, my baby mummy broke up with me today because I kissed her daughter. Jesus Christ, James. No. Just no. Just no on every level. You strike me as a little kind of guy, am I right? I feel like that's a massive insult. You strike me as a little kind of guy. What does that even mean? No, I shop at Sainsbury's. I'm not quite like a Waitrose, right? I'm not quite that like elite, but I'm a Sainsbury's or Tesco. They're my two go-tos. Don't mind Asda. I can be honest, I don't really shop in Lidl and Aldi just because I don't really understand them. I always walk in and I'm very confused about what's going on. Ah, guys, listen to this lovely comment from Milenko. You'll be single for a long time, buddy. Thank you. That's very kind. Raptor, didn't you say you've been to Sharm el Sheikh, then you have been to Africa? Yes, I have. I'm being stupid. Egypt is in Africa. Ignore me. I think I mean more general. Like, Egypt's obviously North Africa. So I'm thinking more like Nigeria, Ghana, and South Africa. That's where a lot of my viewers come from, if I look at my sort of breakdown. Haha, you can't call her fat. Tell her she's cuddly. I think that's just as bad, to be fair. My relationship advice is to find someone who thinks just like you do. I would concur with that relationship advice. If you can find someone you're on the same wavelength as, life is so much easier. So yes, I fully agree with that. Ross, where does your hairline start? Somewhere over there is where my hairline starts. Does my bum look big in this? It looks great, Sam. It looks great. You look fantastic. Ross, what is the youngest you'd go for? I'm not going to answer that question. I'm 25. I wouldn't go too young. Honesty is always the best policy. Trust me. There we go. Some people agree with me. I feel like I shouldn't be giving out relationship advice particularly, but there we are. Women do not want the truth, mate. Okay. I feel like we need to move on from this discussion point. Let's just say everyone thinks that we should lie to our partners. You can call her a circle. I'm not sure that would go particularly well. Can't speak. Love you, Raptor. Good banter. You're a good one. Thank you. I appreciate that. I just wanted to let you know, Ross, I'm off to bed. Thanks for the stream. Up in 3 hours for the Liverpool game. No worries, Josh. I'll chat to you soon about our marriage. Raptor, will you and Yelena watch World Cup matches together? What do you mean? They're in Qatar. I don't plan on going to Qatar. If you mean together in person, maybe. Probably unlikely, but maybe. You won't end up single, though. You are smart. You will learn when to not be straightforward. Thank you. I'll learn. I'll get there. I'll get there. WTF, you are 25. I know. Life's been rough for me. Life has been rough for me, but yes, I am 25. How old do we think... Here we go. This is going to make me really upset. How old do we think I look? Chat. Drop an age in the chat. If you looked at me for the first time, how old do I look? And I'll even take off my hat so I look older. How old would you predict I am? I'll look at the camera. Here we go. How old? Oh, that's wonky. If you insult me, I'm gonna ban you. By the way, just to confirm. Ross, what's your go-to pickup line? My name is FPL Raptor, and my rank is 908th in the world. That's my go-to pickup line. I just say like, do you know who I am? And then if they don't, then it's just a no. I feel like I have to emphasize that that's sarcasm. By the way, the rule is half your age plus 7, isn't it? Is that the rule? So mine would be 19. It's a bit young. Raptor, are you ever going to a day in the life vlog? The people want to see it. I don't think people would want to see a day in the life vlog. Would you guys want to see a vlog from me? I don't think. Oh my God. My dream is to meet you one day so that we can have a good chat on FPL and life in general. Hopefully one day we can get that going then. 29, 25, 62, 32, 28, 25. Okay, most people are saying late 20s. 35, 40, at least 35, at least 38. Without the hat, 31, with the hat, 25. Okay, so the hat makes me look a bit younger. No way you're 25, mate. I'd give you 34. Thank you. I appreciate the honesty there. All right, that's not made me feel any better. There we go. All this talk about how young you would go, how old would you go? I'd go as old as I wanted, to be honest. I don't think there's a cut-off age for how old I would go. Just obviously as long as they're relatively we have stuff in common and stuff, I guess. You look your age, Ross. You'd have a great complexion, no wrinkles, and a sexy bald head. Thank you, Claudette. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. Vlog from Nottingham versus City game or something similar would be dope. Maybe I will vlog something. Maybe I will start doing some match day vlogs, but there is someone else that does much better match day vlogs than I do. So. That is the worst chat line I've ever seen, and I'm not going to read that out, Andy. I prefer the ladies to be over 30, more life experience. Fair enough. Each their own. Whatever tickles your pickle, you know? Whatever floats your goat. You do you. I'm going bald too, maybe in the next 5 years maximum. I am. Sorry. No, I wasn't laughing at your bald joke. I was laughing at don't worry. I'm 29. I went bald at like 20, so you're fine. Raptor, you're beautiful. And you're beautiful too, Ben. Thank you. Do you watch F1? I don't, unfortunately, but it is something I want to get into, for sure. I've discussed this with a few people. Who's your favourite Armenian footballer? Is Mkhitaryan Armenian? I think that's the only Armenian that I know. I think Henrik Mkhitaryan's Armenian. Good stream. Enjoy your weekend. Cheerio. Cheerio, Sam. Good to see you. What should I get my daughter for Christmas? The Mind Game by FPL Raptor. Or a 1 month subscription to my Patreon. Either or is fine, Marcus. I think she'd enjoy both. Beard makes you look older. Fair enough. I don't blame people for saying I look older. Are you from the Nottingham area originally? No, I'm from Essex originally. From Essex. Any advice on my upcoming theory test, Mr. Raptor? Yeah, just revise for it and you'll be fine. It's the same for any test. As long as you revise, you'll be fine. Don't turn up and think you can wing it because you can't. Favourite Danish player? Probably Christian Eriksen. It's got to be, hasn't it? Who do you think will win the World Cup? I'm probably back in Brazil at the moment. I think it'll be one of the South American teams. I think Argentina and Brazil are probably the most likely. But France always pull through. The Belgium team looks decent. So does the Netherlands team, although they didn't take Danjuma, which was a bit of a weird one. What do you think about the Croatian national team? I think they've got a decent chance. You always do. You've got some really decent players in there, but I'm not sure. Son or Park Ji-sung, who is the better player? I've got to back. I'm a Manchester United fan, so I've got to back Ji-sung Park, but I think they're both fantastic. Son's probably the more technically gifted player, but Park Ji-sung was amazing for us. Absolutely amazing. Favorite dessert, Mr. Raptor? Probably Ben and Jerry's cookie dough ice cream is pretty good. Viennetta is always a good shout. Feels very Christmassy. My family always have Viennetta at Christmas. Coffee or tea? I'm a coffee man myself. But I don't have that much of either. I can go like entire weeks without caffeine. I'm not a big caffeine. Like I'm not addicted to caffeine particularly. I think Denmark will be a surprise package in the World Cup. They did pretty well in the Euros, didn't they? So, yeah, could see it. Game's updated. You can now do your unlimited transfers. So, I'm going to give you some advice on this very briefly, guys. My advice is... Let's refresh it. Don't make any transfers. Now, the reason I say that is... I've made 13 transfers, right? If you're equal on points with someone at the end of the season... The way that they decide the rankings is by total transfers made. So if you're potentially going to win FPL and you're first and second, you've made too many transfers, then the other person would win. And also, even if you're like maybe like 10,100th and you're on the same amount of points as someone that finishes in the top 10k, but you've made loads of transfers, then you will also miss out. Now, what they've interestingly said is with a wildcard transfers don't count towards your total transfers. However, because it's unlimited transfers and not a wildcard, any transfers you make over the break will affect price rises and price fall. I don't know why I said that. It will affect your total transfers, which will affect your final rank, right? So basically, I wouldn't make any transfers over the World Cup. I would wait. I would come back to it a few days before, and then I would potentially look then at making your transfers because it's just there's no point tinkering on the site. You can tinker on things like Fantasy Football Hub, FPL.team. Like you don't have to tinker on the official site. So basically, I wouldn't be making any transfers myself. I was just looking at my team. How good does that team look? How good does that team look for Game Week 17? That is ridiculous. Yeah, so the final set of price changes will be tonight. So at 1:30 a.m. GMT tonight will be the final set of price changes. So if you want to try and catch some tonight, then you can. I'm just going to probably leave it. So yeah, from tomorrow night, there will be absolutely no price rises or price falls. That looks really good, that team. I don't even need unlimited transfers. I'm just going to rock with that team. How much of a flex would that be, by the way? Imagine what a flex that is to just not use any of your unlimited transfers, to just roll a transfer. Obviously, how far some of these players go in the World Cup will affect how much we want to put them in our team and stuff, but yeah. I left the stream right after the deadline because I was busy and still the stream is going. What a legend. I tend to stream till my camera dies, which will be in the next 10 minutes. Are you going to do World Cup videos? Yeah, I'm currently planning on that. I reckon my first video will probably be live on maybe, let's say Tuesday. I reckon Tuesday morning I'll have a video that will go live. Or maybe I'll do a stream. Maybe I'll live stream on, I don't know. I'll do a live stream or I'll do a video of some kind probably early next week. I'm just trying to decide if I want to do a mid-season review or not. I might try and review my season first. Just talk about what's gone well, what hasn't, and then maybe move on after that. Are you doing a Sunday night video? I haven't decided yet, Frosty. Probably not. I'll probably go Monday. I don't know. Maybe. I haven't decided. Arsenal's fixtures are awful, though. Yeah, I'm not actually going to rock with this team. I will change quite a bit. But I'm saying, like, the team doesn't look bad. I don't need the unlimited transfers overly. I'll have a look. Let me have a quick look for you guys. Players that look like they're going to be rising and falling in price tonight. So Sam Greenwood, Ben White, Andrew Robertson, Kieran Trippier, Lissandro Martinez, Almiron maybe Ward, maybe Martial and Maddison. There aren't that many players that I reckon you would want on your unlimited transfers that look like they're rising tonight. With price falls, Foden looks like he'll fall in price. Mitrovic, Sinistera, and then maybe a few other players. So I don't see the value massively in moving tonight to try and catch any of those price rises. I think you're fine to go to just leave it. Just kick back, relax, and enjoy the break, I think, would be my advice. Yes, so many people sold and benched Cancelo because they thought he would be suspended for GAMEWEEK16. And he obviously is not. My family's going to hate me on Boxing Day, FPL deadline, and all the games on Prime. So as things stand, I am planning on doing a deadline stream on, it's the normal time, isn't it? It's Saturday morning at 9 AM. So I am planning on a GAMEWEEK17 deadline stream. Yeah. So I'm planning, despite it being Boxing Day, still doing a full stream. And my family have all said that that's fine and stuff. And then I'll start my Boxing Day after that. So if you're around on Boxing Day, I know loads of people will be with their family, but I am planning on trying to do a stream. It will massively depend on my internet, though, because I'll be at home with the family. And obviously, my internet's a bit of a mess when I'm at like family houses and stuff. So we'll see. We'll see how the internet goes. I'm ditching my family on Boxing Day. Don't blame you. There's loads of football on. Are you planning to visit Nepal? I've not planned on it, but maybe at some point. I need to travel loads of places. I need more money first, though. I don't have the money to travel everywhere at the moment. Raptor, you're beautiful. You're beautiful too, Ben. Thank you. McDonald's or Burger King, Mr. Raptor? I think Burger King's better quality, but sometimes you can't beat a Macca's, can you? You'll get millions of views if Nana Raptor makes an appearance. She probably would be able to as well, because like I said, I'm planning on setting up all my equipment at Nana Raptor's house, because she's got a spare room. So if Nana Raptor can get on the stream, I'll get it done. For sure. I'm going to Norfolk, UK during the World Cup period. That's cool, Claudette. Putting a small bet on Canada to win. I'll hedge my bet for England to make the semi-finals and for the win. Very nice. Canada's team actually isn't that bad this year. Ross, thanks for the stream. It's been fun. You're looking good with the gym, mate. Thank you. I appreciate that. We'd love a gym sesh together. Listen, if you're down in Nottingham and you want to have a gym sesh, let me know. I'm always happy to do so. That would be pretty funny to do like an FPL meetup gym session. I wouldn't mind it. It'd be quite funny. Are you a cat or a dog person? I've grown up more with cats, but I don't mind either. But yeah, I've grown up more with cats myself. My mum's got 3 cats, so. Don't wait for money. Go now. Go cheap. You'll see more. Yeah, maybe. But the issue is I have to create content. I've got a job. I've got a PhD. I can't just up and leave and do whatever I want. Really intrigued to see Jonathan David play. Always does well for me on Football Manager. He's good on like FIFA and stuff as well. He's quite highly rated, isn't he? So, what gym do you go to, bro? I'll pull up. I go to Pure Gym in Nottingham, but I'm gonna see loads of people just turning up. It's gonna be mid-workout. It's gonna turn into a meet and greet. That's gonna be funny. What is your favourite books except yours, of course, Raptor? Always the same 2 that I recommend is Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker and Atomic Habits by James Clear. I'm currently reading the Mistborn trilogy, though, and I'm absolutely loving it. I've probably only got like 100 pages left of the entire thing. It's so good. Castle Marina, not Beeston. Boxing Day stream for the win, absolutely. Show Nana Raptors team. I can show Nana Raptors team, I think, because it's updated. Here is Nana Raptor is 2nd in the family league. She's smashing it this year. This is Nana Raptor's team. So she's got the armband on Salah. She's got a pretty good team, to be honest. I don't have any issues with it massively. So yeah, that's Nana Raptor's team. Like I said, she's ranked 473. Where did she finish last season? She finished 63k. You can see before that she hadn't played very seriously or anything. But 64k is pretty good for last season for her. It's the first season she started really taking it quite seriously, so I think that's why. That's my team for this week, by the way. Who is Nana Raptor? Oh, it's Nana, not Nano. It's Nana Raptor. It's my nan. Her name's Shirley. She plays FPL, and she's amazing. Any advice on building up fitness? It's just being consistent. Just getting out there and being consistent. Also, I would try some HIIT training as well, rather than just doing like cardio, like running around. I'd advise doing some high intensity interval training. That would help with fitness. If you want to Google it, it's HIIT. That would be my recommendation for building up some fitness. Yeah, Nana Raptor has got game. She knows her stuff, and she's very confident in her decision making, and I like that. I go to Castle Marina Gym too. I'll say hi if I see you there. So if we go to the same gym then you'll see me. I'm there like 6 times a week. You'll definitely see me at the gym. Do you prefer gym in the morning or afternoon/evening? It's whenever I can fit it in. I usually actually go in the afternoon, like 2 p.m. But if I've got stuff to do, if I'm teaching or if I've got my PhD, then sometimes it's the evening. It's really whenever I can fit it in. Do you script your content or you just open the camera and comment on the slides? I just open the camera and ramble. I've never scripted anything. I obviously do my research, right? I know what the players are doing. I know different statistics to have in the back of my mind. But no, I've never scripted a video in my life. Why is your Nana so cool? She is. She's genuinely the coolest in the world. Like, and she also puts accumulators on a Saturday. Saturday, 3 p.m. kickoffs. She's got like an accumulator with teams to score more than 2.5 goals. Like she bets. She's great. She is great. She loves her football. Do you ever plan on getting your driving license? I've got a driving license. I just don't have a car because I don't need one in Nottingham. But yeah, I can drive. I got my driving license. I passed quite quickly. I only had 23 hours of teaching for my practical. And I passed with 3 minors. So I think I'm a decent driver, but yeah, I just don't need a car. Do you think it's weird how people say certain things as fact when FPL is ultimately a prediction-based game? Yes, I do. Is Nana Raptor the one person you look up to the most, or who is it? I do love Nana Raptor. Yeah, I probably look up to my mum the most. My mum's amazing. I don't mention my mum massively on here because she doesn't play FPL, but she's so supportive. So I would always say my mum's my biggest hero in life. Lol, really narrowing down when to bump into you at the gym. I'm there so often that if you went to that gym regularly, you'd see me. But yeah, I don't have, like today, I'm going to go to the gym today. I don't know what time I'll go. It's probably going to be in the evening, but God knows. What's your thesis on? My thesis is on the role of virtual reality in elite football. So I'm looking at how can we implement virtual reality to improve the way we train in Premier League football mainly. Can you show your opponent's team on the overall cup? Yes, absolutely I can. Absolutely. Where's the cup? Cup. Overall cup. That's the team that I'm facing. It's quite a good team, actually. They're ranked. How are you ranked? This person's ranked 5 million in the world, but that's their team for this week. I could get knocked out of the cup. We've got a very similar sort of structure with a lot of it, but they've got some like Trossard, Kane, Saliba, Almiron. I could get knocked out of the cup. The thing is, I just couldn't care less about the cup. I'm just not a big. Oh my, there we go. My camera's gone. I'm not a big cup person particularly. So I don't really care. I'm not gonna emphasize the cup. Obviously, if I get towards like the back end of it, if I'm still in the cup later on in the season, maybe I'll start in looking at it in more detail. But yeah, I don't really care for it that much, to be honest. Right, I'm gonna call it there then because my camera's died and I just did. It's been 3 hours, over 3 hours streaming. So thank you very much for being here. If you've not yet subscribed and you're still here, which you probably have already, but if you haven't, then please subscribe on the way out. Make sure to drop a like on the stream as you leave. I would massively appreciate that. And I'll see you either on Sunday or /Monday, Tuesday with either an FPL video or some World Cup fantasy content. So there will be some videos coming. Make sure to tune into that. And thank you. Good luck with GameWeek 16. Love you all very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.